434 to the next one that ends in 00. So we're going to bring that up. Now this watch, it's all part of 4. However, if you're not into that laser acid tech, we actually brought a different variation of that watch right here. And it's going to be a two-tone, but it's not going to have that laser acid tech. It's going to have that high polished side. It's going to have a brushed finish and also even a matte finish that goes through that center link here of the timepiece. So same watch, same 1,000 meters of water resistance that carries through. And just an amazing build. And I love the two-tone variation here of what you're actually getting into. Okay, let me just see one thing. Okay. Same movement on the inside. The Z20 31 is that movement. I think they're about 22 joules on the inside of this movement. I have this movement in a few of my different watches too. Feel free to chime in at any time, buddy. With
James is saying we should bring AL on the show.
Yeah, I think that will be
that would be great.
That was something I got to pin him down, but yeah, we'll work on that. I think it'd be great to have like his insight on something, and we'll make that happen at some point here for sure. I like that question. Okay, so here's a second model number, and then we're going to go through one more. The next one, Greg, I want to show. I'm just going to bring this up. I'll keep it right here. It's an all silver tone variation, and this one is 3.3. Yep.
Prap wants to know what the power reserve on the Venom is.
The power reserve on this one, I'm trying to remember. I think it's, 36 hours, definitely safe, but this one has a double balance wheel on it. So it's going to be more, I recall it might be around that 50 mark or so on it.
Okay.
So that's what I've wanted to do actually. If I could figure out and do a time lapse of like all these different movements and have like a digital clock next to it.
Okay.
And just do a time lapse and see how long they'd actually go.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'd like to do that and
get
just
4 or 5 of them lined up and see
that.
which ones last the longest.
Mm-hmm. That'd actually be a pretty cool idea. We should work on that and get a bunch of just digital clocks with timers and stuff like that. So this is the all silver tone version. Let me just give you a little bit of a look here of that version. So you have all that laser acid tech that goes along here for the entire timepiece. Off to the sides, what you're going to see. And the movement on the inside. And the fourth color choice, which I think is probably the hottest color choice. Greg, we're going to go do 3.5. So I'm just going to bring this last one in right here and show you. Now this one should be up on the screen here for model number 44435. This one is like this brown that's been done with the black bezel. It's really almost sort of that copper type of look. It's just a little bit darker even than like you would find for copper.
It's just a little bit darker than the khaki that you guys also have.
Yeah, khaki's lighter. Yeah. This one is more of that. I think what we're just referring to as the brown for this version right here. So we'll just get in tight on this just to show you the brown with that laser acid tech for this, and we'll get in even a little bit closer. And then you'll be able to just see and appreciate. Here we go.
Juan is asking when the new Sub-Aqua 8 is coming out. And the last podcast, AL said it would be out within a month.
Yep, and that's as of right now. Yeah, stay tuned on that. And follow me, Invicta Ryan, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, because I will be talking about that when able here too. And maybe even on one of the next episodes here too, we'll be talking about that a little bit more on the Sub-Aqua number 8. So, so we have 4 different choices here. Again, you can go off to the side of the screen. You can just scroll through, and then you're able to, in a sense, just shop ahead or go for one of these items. And let's just keep moving on, Kevin, because we had, this is the 2. Now we're going to go to a special watch here. Okay, so let me put all these back because it's better to keep everything in order, right? Are you nervous, Kevin, about what's coming up tonight with this with the 12 questions for you?
You know,
yeah. Oh yeah, why don't you pull?
I'm not quite sure what to expect on it, but
you'll be okay. You'll still like me. Yeah. Hey, you brought your case tonight, right?
Yeah, I did bring a few that I just wanted to.
Yeah, why don't you just
if we had an opportunity we could talk about? I'm gonna hop off the chat for a minute, guys.
Brief off that real quick, and then I'll look at getting one more watch here.
All right. Just picked out a few that if we had some downtime, or if we got to talk a little bit personal things, we could bring out a few.
Show the first watch that you started with.
The first one I showed you earlier?
Show that one and then your favorite, because I know that you have your favorite in
Okay.
there too. So why don't you do those two?
So this is actually,
Do you want me to just put it, I'll put it in front of camera 3.
yeah, this is actually what got my Invicta collection started.
Now this watch is not for sale. We're just finding out a little bit more about Kevin.
So it's scratched up. It's about 10 years old now. I think I've only had to change the battery one time. It's a two-tone excursion, platinum mother of pearl, Swiss made. And I actually bought it here at the hub and a couple years ago because of to join into their employee sale. So I was able to pick that up here. But that started my Invicta craze.
All right. Well, I love the high polish, and everybody just raves about that mother of pearl on the inside for those excursions.
That mother of pearl was the absolute seller for me when I first saw it. I think it's just absolutely gorgeous.
Let's see.
The one that I mentioned to the other day?
Yeah, let's do that. I'll put it back up here in front of the screen then.
I wouldn't say it's my absolute favorite, but this is definitely one of my favorite designs.
Well, you can always talk to somebody else behind the scenes here. He has a little bit of an influence too.
It's the Venom Viper. It's got the meteorite dial. It's the gunmetal and silver. And if you look at the snake head up top, it's got the two red stones. And at the bottom, it would be as if the tail, as if the snake was wrapping all the way around it. Absolutely love this design. I think they did 5 of them on a bracelet. I have all 5 of those. If they did a 6th, I'm unaware of it, but I just think this design is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. That's a beauty. I love the texture, just like the snakeskin texture off to the side of the case that's just been machined in. And then, of course, it's like almost that snake right here with that head. It goes all the way through. And like you said,
and it's Z60 movement, which is an extremely reliable quartz movement. It's one of the, I would say it's one of the most popular you guys use.
Yeah.
I believe you guys had some influence on designing it.
We did. If you notice, like on some of those Ronda Z60s, here you go, buddy.
Yeah.
On some of those, they have one of the components on there is actually yellow. And that was part of like with us working with Rhonda to create that. And we had exclusive rights to that movement for a while. And then we, after a while, other watch manufacturers could use that movement. Okay, here's the thing is we're going to go, Greg, to one that's a little bit further down. It's going to be down towards the bottom of the chart. It's going to end in 163. It's a black timepiece. 163?
N1.
Yes, N1, exactly. All right, so I'm just going to scroll over too because I know we have this. So we're going to get into, and Kevin and I wanted, we're showing you some of the #1 limited editions here. And this is one that we wanted to come out of the gates with here tonight. So first of all, it was, that partnership with Star Wars.
Yes.
This is that 47 millimeter Reserve Pro Diver. It's one of my favorite case designs. And it's Darth Vader. I mean, check this out. Right here, you have Vader right there, which is actually rising up. You have then his breather right down here. The movement on the inside of this watch is a Sellita SW500. And we went along with a lot of the characters with this. This is #1. Let me just show you right here. And it's done in red, which is super cool. Look at this right here. Limited edition, #1 out of 1,977. Because that was the first year. Ooh, it cost me $20. that 1977, because that's the first year that the first movie of Star Wars actually came out. The price on this, Kevin and I couldn't believe it. Like $699 for a #1. This is basically the price.
Yes.
That we would just sell #2 through 1977 with.
Yes.
So I think this is, of course, it's not the least expensive watch of the show by any means, but I think this is one of the best values you can get in here tonight.
I would say absolutely one of the best, if not the best value.
Yeah, I mean, you want to stick around because we have some other great things coming up, but look at this. We even have the extended case back that's a part of this. 500 meters of water resistance that's a part of this watch. You have the dual deployment closure. Nice ratcheting bezel on this, 120 clicks all the way around. And I absolutely love on the inside there, on the case back, you do have everything written in red. 25 jeweled movement for the SW500. And I believe, I know people are asking about power reserve, I think the 500, the SW200, I think is around 42. I think this is bumped up to about 60 hours of power reserve that goes along with this timepiece.
So if I was at home in the chat right now, one thing that I would ask you, I know,
Yeah.
but maybe some people don't. If you could explain what you mean by the 25 joule movement, what does it mean that there are 25 joules and why are they there?
So first of all, this movement is the SW500. It's from a company called Sellita. Sellita dates back to like, I think it's like the 50s, 60s, around there. They've been around for quite a while. And what they did is they actually they would assemble high-end Swiss-made movements. And their biggest customer was ETA. And ETA then decided, like in the late 90s, somewhere around there, to really just go on their own and do this whole vertical integration thing. So Sellita was out of like their major client. And so they're like, what do we do? We have to go into this survival mode. And so what they decide is, okay, we have the know-how of how to create all these different movements. We have the relationship with the part vendors. So let's just start creating some of our own movements. And so they, the first movement came out with was the SW200, which is an absolute hit. They've had they have like 300, they have the 500, they have all these different calibers of movements. But the thing is, they're still a pretty small company. And it's hard. There's usually a waiting list to be able to get their movements. They're actually in Switzerland one time when out there for the Basel International Watch Fair, and they didn't have any movements to sell. They were like on a 3-year backlog. And so basically they already had their booth and paid for, and they just said hi to their customers, and that was really about it. So there's a really long way of just really saying it's hard for us to get those moves. We would love to get more SW200s, SW500s, but we just have to pick some select watches to be able to have that. And so we decided here that we wanted to put it inside of this. You know, we did other characters from the franchise inside of there, and and Vader is probably one of the coolest ones.
Right.
And so this is your chance to be able to get for under that $700 mark, to be able to get into, an SW500 limited edition #1. This is the actual watch that will come to you. This #1 out there. There's not another #1 out there. It was listed on the store's website for a few thousand at least, is what it was.
Yes.
And we decided, and that was on sale.
I think it was around 2,700.
Yeah. And which is, I think that's a fair price. But for the show, we took another, if it was 27, we took it down another $2,000 for you to be able to get into. And some people, I have, do you have any #1s?
I don't. I have one #2, but I have no #1.
Yeah. I have 3 different #1s.
Wow.
I have a JT Carbon. I have a Pro Diver Scuba. It's like this brown one. It's like a different watch.
Okay.
And the Sub Aqua #1.
I do have a couple that are unnumbered. There's no number. It's got the solution and 300.
Those are the samples. Yep.
Samples, right.
And promotional. Yep. Yeah. So here's your chance. So that's the thing, is like, some of you have a few different #1s. You got them by luck of the draw. I know Dickerson, his tourbillon, he got that. He didn't know. And #1.
Tourbillon #1.
Yep. Tourbillon #1 he got. But the thing is, you never knew if you were getting a #1 when you'd buy into a numbered limited edition.
Right.
Now you know for sure this is that exact watch. My fingerprints might be on it. Kevin's might be. He hasn't touched it yet. But thing is, you will get the #1, which is a big deal. There'll be a certificate that says this is #1. It'll be signed by AL. But this is that exact watch. So you can get into that first watch. I know Felix picked up on some watches last week. Bob Cohen got that #1 Lupa. I think maybe Tony White got into a couple also. People want to hear a joke? Oh yeah. Boy. Let's see. What? Do you have a joke? Just right off the top of my head.
I don't.
Geez, you know what I'll have to do? I'll have to, I have a couple. Vader Soul.
All right. Wow. Congratulations for whoever grabbed
that.
That's
that. We thought that was a great buy. Geez, joke.
Yeah, Jonathan the Great wants to hear a joke. He also wants to know, he wants to know a little bit about the history of Invicta and the innovation process.
Okay.
I'm expanding on what he actually said, but
sure. Well, I mean, joke. Let it come to mind, because I mean, I do have some, but they're pretty much dad jokes. They're pretty lame.
Yeah.
Get a good one. Yeah, we'll get to that. Well, just a little bit of history about Invicta. We were founded back in 1837 over in Switzerland, Raphael Picard. And he wanted to have this Swiss brand that was just all about exceptional design and quality at a price that common folk could actually afford. And it went long for quite a while. And actually back then, Invicta was still it was all purely a mechanical company. When I talk about that, no battery operated movements, because that really came about in the 60s and 70s. And when that happened, we still remained as a mechanical company. We didn't get into the quartz
revolution.
Quartz revolution in a sense, yeah. And so then, actually, after a little bit, we went dormant for a while as a company, just kind of paused. And then AL came along, and then took everything over in the 1990s, and started out with a pro diver. But when he took over the brand, he still wanted to stay to that true company core of just exceptional watches at affordable prices. And still today, I mean, look at, we just sold a #1 limited edition Star Wars for $700. I mean, that's an unbelievable deal in my opinion, to get a #1 like that. And everything, when we started out the X-Wing, under $90 for the design and engineering that goes along with that too. I mean, it's just, there's just so much that, we're all about. We're always creating, we're always designing. We love incorporating colors into our timepiece. We have the standard colors, but then we step outside of the box with fun colors. So we sold a purple label tonight already before the show with all these diamonds. Purple watch. Who makes purple watches and puts them with diamonds? Guess what? We do, and it already sold. We're not even gonna get to that watch tonight. So, and we still continue to just have those exceptional watches at prices. And, just the innovation and design, our design members here are always creating, always designing. And here's the thing, if you have an idea you'd like to just throw our way and see if it sticks, send me an email at invictacollectors@gmail.com. I'll look at it, I'll forward it off and see if we can put something together.
Lisa wanted to know if the both of us were single. I answered the question.
Okay, that would be no and no. Renee, are you single? Did he say yes?
Lisa wants to see us arm wrestle too.
Yeah. Well,
I don't think I have a chance. I don't think I have a chance.
I'm no Devin Lariat, but
no, right? I don't have a chance. No, I don't. I can really tell how firm this is.
He's from Canada, and he's like he's like my age.
Okay.
And he's like, okay, go, come on.
See, I got couch helping me.
I did arm wrestle. I think it was Kathy Norton. I know Kathy Norton for sure. On him, I lost.
Did you really?
And then I arm wrestled.
You must have had a tough week at the gym.
Yeah, and then I arm wrestled Jen Vick. Now she's always at the gym. I mean, she's working out. She's got some guns. Okay. Well, let's go on, because we're going to go on to the next segment.
Thank you for that, Lisa.
I like that. Well, that
was actually kind of funny.
Okay, here. Okay, you know what we're going to do is we're going to, let me just see where we're at here with a little bit of a show flow here tonight. Okay, so we hit cell #1. All right, let's talk about Invicta Racing. And I took some notes. And Renee, this is going to be a little bit, let me just see. Freestyle. And okay, yeah. Okay, so we're going to talk about Invicta Racing here. And so it was earlier this year in 2024. Invicta, we actually bought an F2 race team. And so that consists of 2 different cars, drivers, the whole crew, and everybody else was a part of that. And would you, are you able to bring your computer if it's not plugged in, or?
Yes, I can unplug it.
We'll just, we'll zoom over to where the car is actually.
Sure, let's do that.
All right, let's go in front of Jaime. Come on with. We're just going to go over here. All right, come on along. Oh, you know what? Actually,
did your mic fall?
Oh, nope, it didn't. I'm good. I thought it did. Now, I don't know if I can sit on this. Probably not. Maybe on the tire. So here's the thing: is we bought this F2 race team, and this is actually one of the cars here from the previous season. And so it's been a really, really big deal. What you'll see with Invicta is that we have the Invicta Racing is really this, in a sense, like a halo over Invicta, because we're just talking about, being invincible, unstoppable,
Right.
undefeated, can't be defeated and everything. And that's in a sense how AL runs the company. Is just that we're forging forward. You got the adrenaline that's going along with this, and it's just a super exciting thing. Now we're expanding the racing line and everything, and you'll see that too. But it's just going to be a bigger part of like just really who we are as a company. And so right now, I wrote down a lot of different things that go along with this. Is that we're finishing up the first season of Invicta Racing, or with the first season in F2. And the thing is, Kevin, we're number one.
Yes.
We're number one out of 11 different teams, and we're up 35.5 points with 2 races to go. There's one race that's coming up at the end of November. That's in, people say Qatar, but I think it's technically pronounced Qatar.
Okay.
Have you heard that before? Or?
I've heard Qatar. I didn't.
A lot of people,
I don't think I've ever heard Qatar before.
Yeah, people say Qatar, but I believe the correct pronunciation is Qatar. And the second one is December 6th through 8th, and that's in Abu Dhabi. And here's the thing is, we have 243.5 points right now with 2 races to go. And then after the second place is at 208. And so we have 2 drivers, and you score different points, like depending on how you place.
Okay.
So there's, I wrote it down here. It's actually pretty interesting, like the scoring system. So how it goes is, you score, so there's the sprint, which is, I think it's like 100 kilometers. And so in that sprint, that's where you get that's how you get placed. So if you win that, you get so many points. And then if you win that, you get so many points. And then if you get the fastest lap, you get points also. And then you do have the race. So here's the thing is, in terms of the race, if you're first place, you get 25 points. Second place is 18 points. And it decreases all the way down to 9th gets 2 points, 10 gets 1 point. And anywhere after 11, you don't get any points. And so you have 2 drivers that are actually going towards it. Yep, exactly. So we have 2 different drivers, and you'll see they're actually on the car right there. And so we have Gabriel Bortoleto. He's 20 years old, and he's actually placed number 1 right now out of all 22 drivers. So he's number 1 with 169.5 points. And he's from Brazil, 20 years old, and he's leading the F2 circuit. And then we have Kush Mani. He's from India, and he has 74 points. He's currently placed 11th. But the thing is, between the 2 of them, you add up those points, and that's where we're getting into with the point standing right now. So 2 races left. As long as they do well, we could probably clinch this first season and be the F2 championship team, which is pretty cool.
2 things.
Yeah.
1, when you're done, Joe wants to see you get in the car. And 2, Glenn the Godfather sent you a joke that we can tell on air.
Okay.
Can we tell it on air, Glenn? Can we?
So who asked about getting into the car?
Joe wants you to get in the car. Joe. It's just Joe. I'm not sure. We need a few Joes. I'm not sure exactly which one.
Let's try this here. I think my ass is too big, but we'll see.
I think you're good, bud.
All right, here.
Don't break anything.
I don't even know. Renee, what's the best?
Not on you. I mean on the car. Don't break anything on the car.
Oh, yeah, I have to take off. Well, here, I'll get over here for a second, and then I'll take off the steering wheel. So the steering wheel will pop off. If I can't get out, you guys will have to bring my computer over to me. All right, let's see here. I don't think I can, Kevin.
I think you're good.
Oh, jeez. No, I'm not going down any lower because no, I'm not going any lower, but there's like so much more room to go in here for my feet and everything like that. I mean, I'm squatting in here right now, but like my lats are all against here. There's still probably another 6 inches. So the seat isn't in this car, and the steering wheel we actually took out. So, but yeah, you can see here, look at this. Things
You
are,
know, in Sports Center the other day,
things are
they had
pretty
one of
tight.
these cars, and I think they were saying they actually mold the actual seats to the racer's
Yes.
body.
It's, yeah, they actually,
That's incredible.
Renee was telling me about that because I mean, everybody has a little bit of a different figure and stuff. And I mean, there's not much room at all. But look at this right here. You get to see just like even right here, I'm looking inside, all carbon fiber build on the inside. Here's where the racing wheel goes right here. I mean, that's pretty intricate in of itself. If we look just right down over here, these fairings, you can see the carbon fiber both in the front and the back. And Kevin was pretty impressed earlier. He's just like how strong this carbon fiber is. There's more here with all the different fairings that are a part of it. But can you imagine? Mhm. No, I'm not putting my feet down there. Maybe I can put one leg. Let's see here. Okay, one leg is in. If I put that other leg in, I'm not getting out.
We're going to need an additional crew to get you.
You'll bring the crane. That's all we need is the crane to let me out. Actually, could you hand me my little paper there, Greg? Thank you. So here, as I'm crammed inside of here, yeah, there's the wheel. It's almost like Kevin was talking about. It's almost like a
Like
super
portable video game.
Portable video game, but I mean, and then multiply that by 10 times. This actually fits in, which is going to get me even a little bit more. I don't even know. I have to pull. Oh yeah. Oh, here we go. So I don't know. It's not locked in all the way. I'm just further pitting myself inside. Yeah, yeah. So actually, here's the thing. Here's some statistics I wrote. So F2 cars, the horsepower. Now here's the thing. There is some differences between F2 and F1. So with F2, all the cars are built by the same manufacturer. It's an Italian manufacturer, and then they also have the gear case is all built the same. Because what they want to do in F2 is they want the drivers to really see how do they stand out. Can they graduate into that F1? And so some of the things that go along with it is you're looking at about 620 horsepower with the F2s. F1 series about 1,000 horsepower. However, you're only looking at about a 20-mile-an-hour difference. F2 cars like this would top out at about 210. F1 cars are looking at about 230 miles an hour. Now, this is the engines for the F2 are the naturally aspirated engines. And actually with the F1, it's a turbocharged hybrid, which is pretty interesting. The weight, so including the driver, this is pretty good. You're looking at about 755 kilograms or 1,664 pounds with the driver, which with me, you're probably pushing 1,700 pounds with the driver. The F1s are a little bit heavier. You're looking at almost 800 kilograms or about 1,760. And then the track also, or the terms of all the racing that goes along for the race, the actual race, because you have the sprint also, about 105 miles is going to be typical, or it's about an hour's worth for the F2. F1 is a lot longer. You're looking at about a minimum of 305 miles. So the F1 drivers are in there for a lot longer. But the sprint is on Fridays, and then that's like qualifying for the pole position on Saturdays. You're getting into then a much more Saturday then is going to be the race. F2 goes first, then F1 will be later. Now, here's the real big thing.
Before you get out, Joe says he actually wants you to do the rest of the show in there. If you want, I'll just bring your bourbon over to you.
Well, is that Ripsaw Joe?
It just says Joe. I don't know if it's Ripsaw Joe. It might be.
If it's Ripsaw Joe and he's going on the cruise, I'll remember that. I hope he is. I hope Joe's going on that cruise. So yeah, I'm going to see if I can get out here. Hold on. Okay, here's the challenge right here. Guys, can't believe I did this. I don't know. Let's see, hold on. There we go. Yep, not that again. All right, let me get out here. So yeah,
Joe says he wants to see the rest of the studio. Give us a tour of the office. I'm not sure if we can
just
do that today.
back. I'll just show you just a quick. We'll just do a quick little tour here. So we'll just follow right here. So this is where Kevin and I are, and this is where we did broadcast from Shop HQ. Right back over here at Glass, that's just kind of like one of the conference rooms. So we're actually technically in the other side of Invicta. So there's like the corporate office side and then the warehouse side. And this is actually part of that warehouse side. If you'll see right up here and kind of that second level, there's a stairway and elevator. My office is actually right up there. So I'm actually over in the warehouse side because be in the studio here much more, but this is a little take of it, but we'll get more of a mobile camera another time and we'll show you a little bit more of everything that's around. But Kevin and I will just make our way back here to everything. So yeah, that's a real big thing with Invicta now is with the, like actually winded from trying to get out of that seat. Oh yeah, okay. So we were going to do that a little bit later, but we can, well, what time is it? We're only an hour in right now. Maybe we can let it sit for a little bit. I think we'll let it sit because we'll do a sell right now and then we'll get over to something that's coming up a little bit later. So all right, so should we do sell two or what are other people saying?
I
can't play that card.
Ryan doesn't know if he really is the best at this. Brandon, he really is. I'm sure there's things that he may not know, but it would be very difficult to stump him, I'm sure.
Well, and I don't want to make this let's stump Invicta Ryan show. You know, that's like some of the hosts at the network at Shop HQ are like, hey, let's stump Ryan. And I'm like, no, let's not. Like, you know, just ask your questions, I'll most likely answer them. If I don't, I don't. And, you know, I don't know everything. Nobody.
Joe wants to know which one of us can chug our whiskey faster. That might be for a different show. Well, you know what? If Joe, go on the cruise and we'll take care of it.
Ask if it's Ripsaw Joe, and ask if he's going. If he's going on the cruise. We'll have a whiskey with him then. Okay, let's go to another. Let's do another segment of selling, huh? So yeah, we went through everything here with the team.
Robert Vegas says you guys need to catch up.
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't know if I know Robert.
Robert's from South Florida.
He is.
Yeah, he's been a long time collector. He actually worked at the Invicta stores for a while. You know. Yeah. He's a great. We have to have him come on the show.
I look forward to meeting you, Robert. I'm obviously down here as well.
He actually has. I think he has. You know, we're talking about number ones. Do you know about this? That it's Jason Taylor. It was a sub aqua, especially with the black diamonds that went around it. I think we only made 10.
Yes.
And I think he has number one.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, talk about.
I think there's
Grail number one.
I think there's even one of them right now on Invicta stores
with the black diamonds.
I believe it's in the open box section.
Oh.
Which there's an additional. When I the other day, let me see if I can find it.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can
look at it real quick. I'll pick out some more watches here to go through. So here's the thing. We have a couple things going on here. We're about an hour in. We're going to present a couple more watches. And then I'm wondering I think I'm going to ask you the question segment after. We'll sell some more and then we'll do the special. We're going to have to involve a hammer. The segment that involves a hammer tonight. So
I hope you brought safety glasses.
Well,
okay.
These things are probably the furthest thing from safety glasses. Well, let's pick up some more watches here. We'll go through another segment. And let's see. So we're doing sell two.
Let me see if I can find that Jason Taylor really quickly. Excuse me if I'm not on the chat, folks.
Okay, Greg, we're going to look at 059. 059. It's towards the top of the list. Did you find it? The last three digits are 059.
Yeah, I found it.
You found it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it? Okay. So let me just, I'll get this up here. And so this watch is the Gladiator. And what's pretty cool about this watch is we actually launched this collection. It was back in December or January of 2021. So the pandemic had hit because we just got off the cruise in 2020
Yes.
in like February or March. And then if we were on that cruise like for another
It was
week,
March. Yeah.
if we were on that cruise for another week, we would have been stuck on it for months.
South Florida, they shut everything down on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
I remember that. 10 o'clock at night, they closed the bar that we were at.
And so what we have here, I mean, this is the Gladiator. And when we launched the Gladiator, we launched it with no diamonds. We had kind of like a, you know, good, better, best kind of thing. And I mean, they're all great, but you know, some people don't want the diamonds or they're looking to spend a certain price point. So we had a non-diamond version, we had a diamond version, and then we had a blinged out diamond version. And when we debuted the Gladiator, Al was actually on that show, and he said that it was, to date, the most complex build that we had ever done as a company.
Robert says he does have that number one.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
Robert confirmed he has that number one. No, that's cool. Is it 1 out of 10? I think it is.
I'll ask him real quick.
So, and ask him too if he wants to be on the show. Or I'll hit him up for it. And this one was blinged out diamond version. We're talking about 696 diamonds. And it's just not diamonds. We'll get really close here. It's not just diamonds that are in the dial, which is amazing if you have the bezel or the dial is full of diamonds on the inside. So we have diamonds on the inside. There's a double row of diamonds going around that unidirectional rotating bezel. And look at this. Even these stations right here, they have diamonds on it. And then we have more diamonds going down what's called like almost that shoulder, you know, like that armor, that shoulder that you would find for that armor, like a Gladiator, completely encrusted in diamonds, both north and south. So the price on this watch is $12.99, $12.99.90. I mean, we're talking about nearly 3 carats, 7 points shy of 3 carats for this watch. You have then, it's gold tone, but you do have the silver, which I like. The silver tone, the natural color of that silver for that Franco chain. It's going up both sides of the timepiece. And the third Franco chain that's just really go around the inner perimeter of that unidirectional rotating dial. This is also part of that reserve collection. So you're just getting into the top of the line. You're getting into the best that we make here at the company. And I tell this story, Kevin, when we came out with this design, I got a couple samples. And I was wearing them. I sized them and I was wearing them. It didn't have a single diamond on it.
Yeah.
Everybody was asking me about it. I remember being at the convenience store, this specific BP right by my place, and walked inside of there. The guy behind the counter, he was like, "Oh my God, what is that?" And I sent a text to AL and I said, "I have never received more attention on the wrist than with one of the Gladiators." And that one didn't have a single diamond. This watch is 4 diamonds short. 4 diamonds short of 700. You round up that 2.92 carats, you're looking at 3 carats here on the wrist. And then it's that 2-tone, in my opinion, which is fantastic because you have the silver tone for the Franco chain. You have the 18 karat gold that we've plated for the rest of the timepiece here. Looking on the inside of the watch, even really close in, you can see we even have like a design for that Franco chain right there at that 9 o'clock subdial for the movement on the inside, that Ronda Z60 that's a part of this movement. I mean, I've always wanted a Gladiator with some diamonds on it. And my favorite, I love the rose tone and the silver tone where the rose tone is just done for the cable design on it. This one too, in my opinion, just looks like absolute money on the wrist. There's that case back. Do you have any Gladiators?
I have, I think, maybe 5 or 6, but I do have that silver and rose tone with the diamond bezel, or sorry, diamond dial.
Oh, you do?
I don't have the one fully encrusted like this, but I do have the one with only the dial done.
I mean,
the dial.
So,
the show for the next show or for the next 2 or 3 shows?
Yeah, are we going to have that capability? Okay. Yeah, we can figure it out. So, yeah, okay. Let's do that. So here's the thing too is, I mean, Kevin has been so gracious with his time here to be a part of the first two shows. And, you know, we'd love to have him for every show, but we gotta share the
Of
hot seat a little
course.
bit, I guess you could say.
Absolutely.
And we would love for you to be a part of the show too. So here's the thing. I think the best way probably to let us know if you want to be a part of the show. It doesn't matter where you live. We're going to work on that technology to be able to incorporate all that into the show. And I think we might have it figured out. I was talking to Renee a little bit earlier. Send me an email at invictacollectors@gmail.com. Again, it's Invicta Collectors, plural, invictacollectors@gmail.com. And just say, I would like to be a part of the show. And so we'll look at that. You know, we can schedule some, a couple weeks out or a few weeks out, and we'll see about that. And we'd love for you to be, because we want to get different takes. We love getting Kevin's, and we'll continue to get Kevin's here too. But we want also to hear from you guys about what's going on, just from everywhere around the country. Yeah, I mean, we could even have a couple different people at the same time. And so we would love for that to be a part of the show you're going on, because remember, it's really just about you and being able to interact. I would love to be able to talk to you, get your take on things, hear about your collection, what you would like to see from Invicta, takes on watches too that we're actually showing during the show.
Do you happen to have your calibers with you today? Your calipers?
I do. If you want to go grab them, they're in that conference room back there. It's either in my gray bag or...
Okay. I can't remember if it was William Jones or somebody else. They wanted to know if this is a 58 or a 61. I believe it's a 58 bezel, correct? But
yeah, I think it's
with the
58
case
bezel.
and crown, it might measure a little bit more,
and
obviously.
actually, I wouldn't mind having those because we're going to have that akula too, and I want to set the story straight on that akula.
Okay.
They're asking if you can do like a live stream in here in the groups for people that are gonna go.
I could do a live stream from like Instagram. On this? We can look at it. Logistically, it might be a little bit tricky, but we'll see, because that cruise is coming up really soon. That cruise is coming up here in 2 Saturdays, so a week from this Saturday. But we'll see if there's a possibility of trying to. Yeah, okay. We could do something like that and have it. Might need the Starlink for it. We'll work on that. Yeah, I like that idea. And so, yeah, maybe just do a little shorter show on that, but we could try to do something like that. That'd be cool. Okay, I'm game. Okay, so here we go. So now this watch isn't that number one, and it's down to $1299.90 to be able to get into this Gladiator. And this is that blinged out version. There's that first generation. We had a couple different series of watches that were with the Gladiator. You get that 18 karat gold plated on both the front and the back. You get the high polished case back that's a part of it. Diamonds on the shoulder, diamonds on the bezel, diamonds on the station, on the top portion of the station, diamonds on the dial here for the watch. Ronda Z60 for the movement that's on the inside. Just an absolute masterpiece of a timepiece here. And plus, even, yeah, this is good for the Miami. Yeah, I mean, this would be, this would be something special down there. I mean, you want to go to have you been to, I know you were in Brickell, and did you ever go to Sugar? I've been there. Come on. It was, it's nice. I went there for a couple drinks, and it was fun. Yeah, it was a good time back in April. Yeah, have you been to Sugar?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
The rooftop bar?
Yeah, the rooftop bar. It was pretty cool. So, all right. Oh, you got the calipers. Okay, let me measure this out. I'm just going to hold the watch right here. So let's see.
One of my favorite things about Nashville is all the rooftop bars.
Okay. Let me just see. Okay, we're good to go on this. So if we're going, we'll just get in, show this here. So if we're going 10 to 6, or just anywhere on the bezel, it doesn't matter. We're looking at 50 millimeters. But if we're going with the chain that's going to be apart and to where the function pusher is inside, we're looking at about 59 millimeters, including the function pusher, 63, And then if we're going west to east, you're looking at what, about 61 millimeters? We go tight on that, Greg? Yeah, you can show right here.
Steve, you're to sugar.
Yeah, we'll go to sugar. That's Robert's kind of place. Robert likes it.
Yeah.
All right, so 61
I'm
millimeters.
down for that.
Yeah. Then we're looking at about 19 millimeters on the overall profile here for the watch. So, I mean, I have a number of diamond timepieces, and it ranges from, I think I have 9 diamonds in one, all the way up to my Chaos and also my Ripsaw. That's all black diamonds. I don't remember how many are on there, but
What's the diamond weight on this one?
diamond weight is 2.92 carats or 696 diamonds.
Wow, almost 3 carats.
Yeah, I mean, this is a showstopper right here.
It is.
I mean, you go to Sugar down in Miami in that rooftop bar, you know, all those ballers there are going to be looking at you with this watch on at Sugar.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on because we have another couple watches to get through on this lot. So this is that 35059, $1,299.90 to be able to get into this timepiece here. The next watch we're going to go to is actually going to have a look at diamonds, but it's going to be much more affordable. You're going to have that bling factor still. And here we go. So we're going to show this. It's our specialty collection, and special collection with Invicta is a very vast collection. Yeah, we could do 8.6. 8.6 is a silver tone version. So we'll start on that first. Thanks, Greg. So we're going to start on this one. And we're looking at all the different crystals on this. And if memory serves me right, I'm just thinking, I thought it was 1,004 different crystals that are on this watch. So you have full pave dial.
See if I can bring it up.
You have then all the crystals going along the bezel on the lugs right here. And we'll go close in on the watch. We'll go close in so we can see everything. And you have bezel, dial. You have then also the lugs. And look at this. The first 3 links are just lighting up. And then we do that sort of the knurling design that also looks like it's that same sort of design carrying all the way through here for the watch. Now this watch is oversized, and we were talking about 54 millimeters to that case diameter. Let me just measure it out, the calipers real quick, because it's all about the bezel. The bezel actually goes outside of the design here. So we're looking at, yeah, 54 millimeters, and then about 15 millimeters in the overall profile. The movement is a mechanical automatic. So just simple turns here that you'll get. That's going to start up the movement. Look at that right there. Super easy to be able to use. Then we have a rotor on the back where it'll just move back and forth, and that will keep itself wound for you. So it's more of that, it's a modified pro diver design here in a sense, but then you get into all those different crystals. So there's the silver tone version right here. There's also a gold tone version, and that is model 34587. So you can get into either the silver tone, which is 34586, or 34587 for the gold tone. Kevin, anybody saying anything about this watch?
My feed kind of froze. I'm trying to get it back here. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, $229 here to be able to get into either one of these different variations here tonight. So I love the little accents of blue that you'll find for the hour hands, minute hand, and second hands, and then also the index markers that line up for the different hour markers on the inside of the timepiece. So I'll put the watch on my wrist. I'll give Kevin one too. I'll give you the gold tone.
Denise, Tony, and Scott got on, and they all say hello. Hello, guys.
Hello, you guys.
Sorry, my chat's a little, it's skipping. Hopefully it'll get back to normal soon.
Yeah. Actually, you'll see I'm wearing tonight too. I'm wearing my Doberman Pinscher shirt. I have 2 of these, just with Noma. So yeah. Noma's back in Minnesota, so I couldn't bring her down here with me, just with my travel and stuff. So she's actually residing in Minnesota. Maybe I'll see her a little bit this weekend. But yeah, it was actually funny. She was out on a walk, and she got, Noma is, Doberman Pinscher, and she looks intimidating, and she's got a really big bark, but she's just a softie on the inside.
Just a cuddler, yeah.
Yeah, she saw like this, I don't know, some Halloween witch or something in the lawn. and was totally scared of it, which is exactly the kind of dog I wanted.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm just saying hello to Noma out there. She's probably not watching tonight, but yeah. But here's the thing is you're getting that look at diamonds. It's all the different crystals. They're beautifully set just both inside and outside of the swatch. And 54 millimeters, I don't have the biggest wrist in the world, but I can easily just check this out. And the other thing too, Kevin, I like about this watch in either colors is, I mean, you have all that pave crystals on the inside, and then you get a nice contrast with that dark blue for the hour markers and also for the three hands on the inside of the watch. So it's actually easy to be able to read and tell the time with this watch.
Yeah. A lot of our collectors, they do like the oversized watches, and that's, obviously what we're known for. The one great thing about this one, yes, it's oversized with the diameter of it, but the height isn't massive. So it's not one of those things that you're going to be banging around and makes your wrist 3 times the size as it was. And it fits really nice, really comfortable.
Yeah, it's actually under 15 millimeters. It's 14 and a half millimeters in the profile.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, 13 millimeters is a ½ inch. So it's just barely over that ½ inch mark that's actually coming up off the wrist. So yeah, beautiful timepiece. You want that look at diamonds, you can get that, and it's for $229.90. Mechanical automatic movement on the inside. And just with every Invicta watch, you get an automatic 3-year warranty. That's all a part, excuse me, all a part of every single Invicta watch. It really covers the internal components of the timepiece. So let's move on a little bit here, if we do, because we have one more. I think we have one more watch that we're going to present here, and then I'm going to get over to Kevin and talk to him about some things. Are we doing the Akula in this one? I think we are. You see, that's the silver tone.
I would like to Akulas.
Yeah, you want to do? Should we do the Akula?
Sure.
Let's see. Yep, here it is here. Okay, Greg. So we're going to look at 382 is going to be the first one, and this is actually what I wanted the calipers for tonight. I actually brought the calipers. So this one, swap out right here, and we have 3 different versions, 3 different color choices, and so okay, we're going to start out with 43382. Now this is the Akula, and funny thing is, if I was just talking about my dog Doberman Pinscher, so her name is actually Noma, to go after 382. Mm-hmm. And so what we have is, so we named the dog Noma. But at the time, if the Doberman was going to be a male, the name was going to be Akula.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and Akula is, more of a masculine name, in my opinion. It actually translates to shark.
Shark.
In Russian.
Yeah.
And it's all part of this nuclear class of submarines from the 1980s in the in the Russian Navy that was called the Akula fleet. It was the first series of nuclear-powered subs, and it was called the Akula fleet. So we've had many, many different designs, and it actually stems from what we call now the diver collection, formerly the Russian diver collection. And here's the thing is, I wanted to spell something here. So it says case size of 58 millimeters. And this is where I want to use the calipers. And mind the crystals too. This price is $159.90, which is an amazing price. If we measure traditionally from 10 o'clock over to 4 o'clock, we're going to look at right here, 51 millimeters. And the stats always say it's like 58 millimeters. Now, if we go west to east, that's where we're getting the 58, 59 millimeters. So that's what I say is, like, when it says 58, it's not like a Sea Hunter. Sea Hunter is a big timepiece. The Grand Octane's a 58 millimeter. So these are just the crystals on this. They're not I don't remember the manufacturer on these particular crystals right here. It's actually, that's one thing that's actually escaping me right now. And I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I'll have to get back on that. I'll have to remember what that is.
Tom was asking, wants to know if they're cubic. cubic zirconias. Or if it's just glass.
No, these are just the glass. It's I don't
Okay.
know the manufacturer, but
Okay.
no, they're not the simulated diamonds. These are not.
Okay.
No, if it were the simulated diamonds, it would be many times over the price. But not the price of diamonds, but it's more when we're talking about the mineral crystals. Okay. Yeah, so mineral crystals on this, and there are actually 50 of those, and they're all baguette set on the inside. The movement is a Ronda movement. It's a 515 caliber, so it's a quartz movement. You get the 3 hands, and you also then get the date window at that 3 o'clock position. I'll give you one of these to go along with. But here's the thing: is I mean, you want to still get that bling on, you definitely can for the price of that $159.90. It's under that $160 mark. Still 200 meters of water resistance. You're looking at just a little bit over 300 grams in the overall weight, and that's before any sort of sizing with the bracelet. But it's a comfortable fit. Doesn't fit like a traditional 58 millimeter by any sort of means whatsoever.
No, it doesn't. I actually have a couple of these. The one thing I like about the two-tone one that I'm wearing, I do have a two-tone one with blue dial on it. The center link going down, the gold on the center just pops.
Yeah.
And the shape of the rectangle that they have with the beveled edges, it catches the light so incredibly, especially when it's high polished. And these ones are just fantastic. I absolutely love these.
We're gonna get a tight shot on your wrist here in a second,
sorry.
so keep that right there. Look at that. And that dial call, so that's model number 43386. 43386. That's also the same price, $159.90. If you want to get into that version, the two-tone with the darker dial, I wouldn't say black, it's more like a darker gray, I would say.
Yeah, I would.
And you can see, that's 86. That's 8. Yeah, that's 86 is right there. So we'll bring that up onto the screen. If you want to get in, that's 43386, 52 millimeter, solid stainless steel bracelet. You get robust closure and class. You have the micro adjustments that are a part of everything for the timepiece there. Quality quartz movement from Ronda on the inside. 3-hand movement, date. You're going to have a nice, accurate time. No winding involved when we're talking about the quartz movements. And in your collection, you have both the automatics or mechanicals.
Yes.
And then quartz movements too, correct?
Yes.
Like what you have on tonight, that the Venom.
Yes.
Fusion, that's going to be a quartz movement on the inside.
Yes.
So I think this is an amazing deal to be able to get into the Akula. I mean, it is solid, it is robust. I like the fact too, is that we actually have that extra little sort of machined outside on the west side of the timepiece at that 9 o'clock position, because like the X-Wing, it visually balances out the watch when you have it on your wrist. We could have just kind of rounded it out, and it might still look pretty cool, but it just gives a different and just a more unique design.
I was going to mention that the symmetry between the two sides, because the crown protectors on the 3 o'clock side, and of course they match it on the 9 o'clock side, and it just adds a little something. It doesn't, it's not your basic squared off case or rounded off case. It gives a little extra dimension to make it very unique.
Let's just go over one more item because we have a third color choice. Oh, this one's hot. Did you see this color? The blue?
I did. Yes.
Okay, here's one more color. So this is 43380, and we'll get that up on the screen. 43380. It looks in my monitor right here, it looks a little bit like it'd be a gray, but it's more like a cornflower blue.
Yeah.
In a sense. And look at too, we have in every one of these, we have the tuxedo striping on the inside. So you can see the lines that are just going up and down here inside of the timepiece. Just beautiful. 50 individual crystals are all lining around here for the watch. Just beautiful stainless steel that's alternating in the bracelet. You have the high polish with the raised center links, which gives a contrast to that vertical brush finish here that goes along for the rest of the watch. So yeah, just a brilliant design out there, very comfortable on the wrist. And you notice, Kevin, too, if you just touch anywhere on this watch, doesn't matter where, on any of the edges, the 90-degree angles, do you notice there's just a tiny little buffering, little rounded edge, even like right here on the corners?
You see it and you feel it.
You can feel it. So there's no scratching at all
Wow.
on the wrist, which I think
didn't notice that before.
isn't that cool?
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Anywhere you touch on the watch, there aren't any like perfect 90-degree sharp edges. They're there, but then what we do is you just round it out to just make it a little bit softer. What am I wearing? Oh yeah. So here's the thing: is the watch that I'm wearing tonight. It's actually Pro Diver, and I wore it because, and we'll get into this too with some of the other collectors. It's just from the Pro Diver collection. It's a 52 millimeter, and I wore it because it's the orange and black, and it goes along with my Doberman T-shirt that I have on here tonight. So, orange and black, and it's a mechanical automatic. It's an NH34A, where you're getting into the quick change day and date with that mechanical automatic, which I was pushing for years for us to get, and we finally started incorporating this movement into some of our watches. So I just like to see the quick change day and date, because just my weeks, I work weekends, sometimes I'll take a day off during the week or whatever, but because I work weekends or late at night, but I like to see what day of the week it is, and it's super easy to be able to read. For anybody out there, and I'd like to get this back into production, we should try it. I don't think it's on the Invicta Store's website. Do you have any of these currently? Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, so that's right. I forgot about that. So with Invicta Stores, it's pretty cool. If you look up a model number, it will then, if that specific model number isn't available, it'll give you recommendations of watches that are closer in style. And so this is model number 37440. So if you type in 37440, you can see if there's something on there. But
Trey Young wanted to do a wrist check for both of us here. Since the camera's already on you, you can go ahead and show the one that I got on.
Okay, I'll just show right here. So Venom Kevin is obviously wearing a Venom tonight, and it's that Venom Fusion. Love the color combination. Is that gunmetal and that brown?
The khaki, yeah.
Yeah, khaki, all high polish, every single
mother of pearl in the dial on this
square
one
millimeter.
It just pops.
Yeah, look at that mother of pearl, and then of course all the mother of pearl around the outer edges here. This model number, if you want to look it up and see if it's on Invicta Stores or similar, you actually have the sticker on the back still.
Oh, do I?
Yeah, which is all right. This model number is 31116. 31116, and it's that Venom Fusion hybrid. So, all right. Well, let's move on here, and we're going to do number one, and then I'm going to ask Venom Kevin my rapid questions. I'm really looking forward to this tonight. So, to keep the value. Yeah.
I usually end up keeping the plastic on the top of the clasp too, because I just don't want to scratch it. But once it starts curling over and peeling, you got to take it off, because then it just looks sloppy.
So how about this for a question for the chat? How long has it been? How long have you had an Invicta watch? And there was a piece of plastic on it that you didn't realize that you eventually peeled it off later on after you had the watch. Was it, a few wears or like a week or two, or is it like a year or two? I want to hear who has the longest one. Like, oh my gosh, there's still a piece of plastic on it. That's happened to me. I don't know how long it was, but I'm sure it was probably months.
I still have a couple of them that I bought maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I still have the clear plastic on the crystal.
Oh, yeah. Funny thing is, it's happened at JTV, and it happened at Shop HQ also. We get new samples that would come in hot, meaning they were just coming in that day, and they'd rush them out to set, and the visuals or whomever else would take off those the plastic, but sometimes they would forget, and duly so, because sometimes that plastic just
just can't tell.
Well, it fits perfectly around the crystal, and then when I would do I would do a tight shot, I'd be like, wait, this isn't like the crystal's dirty, and then I would touch it. And you can totally feel it's not as smooth.
With your nail, yeah.
It's not as smooth.
Trap says 2 years. He's had the longest he's had is probably 2 years.
Piece of plastic?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's well protected.
Exactly. Yep, keeps that value. Okay, so we're going to do a number one. And Greg, this one's going to be towards the bottom of the list. It's one of the N1s. We're looking at 579 N1. I'm just going to scroll here past.
Is that the one that had the weight on it?
The weight.
Remember the one that we grabbed? No, okay. Oh, no.
Yeah. So this is
my mistake.
This is going to be a JT. JT timepiece. And I do want to confirm the size of this here too, because this is that Akula design that we had before. Yep. And my sheet shows 44 millimeters, but I know it's smaller than that. Look, first of all, look at the diamonds. Look at these diamonds. You guys, this is a number one too. And this is a number one for $1 shy of $1,000, $999. This is model number 32579. It's a tourbillon, sandstone dial, number one. Let me find it. Limited edition right here.
Oh, I didn't realize it was sandstone dial.
Yeah,
I love the sandblasting texture on the case and the bracelet too.
I think the limited edition is right here, or it's on this side. One of the two. I can't quite. Oh, it's right here. I don't know, Renee, if we can get a little bit closer, but right here, it's the number one limited edition here. So we have I mean, here's the thing, Kevin. I mean, first of all, getting into a diamond timepiece, and this watch has 135 diamonds over half a carat. That's something special. It's also, and that's the only thing. If you only had diamonds, that's a special watch, right?
Yeah.
If you had a sandstone dial, which is something we haven't done very often over time,
right?
That's something too, because we come up with thousands of different designs or models every year. I bet less than 10 are sandstone dials. And then here's the other thing too, a tourbillon. I have a tourbillon movement, which is, I mean, this was developed like when it was like before 1800.
Right.
And by Louis Abraham. 40, excuse me, it's 44 millimeters, but I'm going to traditionally measure this watch like I did the other one. I'm going to set it down. If we go west to east and include in those extensions, we're probably right at that 44 millimeters. But if we traditionally measure the watch 10 to 4, it's going to fit on the wrist, yep, like a 40 millimeter. So that's what the watch to me feels like, because that's what's really touching the wrist.
Right.
You know, this isn't, if it was a 44 millimeter, it would be, bigger out of the, out of the side, 2 more millimeters on either side here, which would take up more space in the wrist.
Anthony from New York says he bought the 54 millimeter of this version on the last podcast we did last week.
Oh, we did? Okay.
Yeah, congratulations, Anthony.
Oh, yeah.
It's a beautiful watch.
Very cool, Anthony. So he got into that tourbillon. This one is at TY800 with 19 different jewels. Oh, Kevin, I forgot. You were talking about the jewels before inside of movements.
Yeah.
And I never answered. I got off on some different diatribe.
Okay.
But so mechanical movements or mechanical automatics or a tourbillon such as this, which is actually French for whirlwind, was so the different jewels they're synthetic rubies, basically. And they're placed in movements, mechanical movements, and even in some quartz movements too, where metal will actually be rubbing on metal for all the mechanics for the movement to work. And so what the jewels do is it reduces any sort of friction, because if you take metal on metal and start moving it back and forth upon it themselves, it'll get friction, it'll get hot, and it can wear it down. So it reduces that friction, and it just enhances the life of or prolongs the life of the movement, and also just enhances the accuracy of the timepiece also. And what you get with this tourbillon, I don't know, Renee, if we can get a little bit closer here, is I'll start it up, and this is a pure mechanical, so there's not a rotor on the back, is when you start up the movement here, it will actually, here we go. What it will do is that rotating cage at the very bottom, it will make one full rotation. It includes both the balance wheel that's moving back and forth 6 different times every second, and the escapement, and it makes one full revolution. You'll see how this is moving. If you have a balance wheel that's exposed, it's most likely not a tourbillon. It's just staying in one position.
I could literally watch the movement just go for hours.
This is doing a complete rotation of both the balance wheel and the escapement is just run the outside of it, or the escapement is right there. That's what you're seeing. So that's helping everything move all the way around. So what the whole theory of this idea was by Abraham Louis Breguet, is back then everything was pocket watches. And so people have a watch in their pocket, and these are such fine components that he thought gravity would be pulling down on everything, and that everything wouldn't be rotating, or gravity would have an effect on the movement. So he thought, well, if I had a rotating cage, everything will be equal, because gravity will be pulling on it at every sort of position,
right?
And thus, making the watch more accurate.
More accurate.
And I'll tell you, if you're looking at Swiss versions of tourbillons, You're looking at tens of thousands of dollars. So here's the deal. For even under $1,000, a dollar under $1,000, you're getting this, 40, I would say it's more like a 40, can be worn by the men, can be worn by the women, but you're getting a tourbillon, you're getting over half carat of diamonds, and you're getting a number one, it says 001 out of 999 of these watches here. Something truly special. You hit the mark on so many things.
Yeah. Well, you also have the Sandstone dial, and I don't know how many watches Invicta's done with that I want to call it like the Sandstone texture on the side.
It's like that pitted design.
Yeah, I have one or two like that. I think I have one, but I mean, it is really cool. And I mean, I don't know if we've even done more than 5 that were like that. So that is also a very rare thing.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, that's just a different design that we have done over time. And the cool thing is, if you look at the pyramids that are actually coming up, the sides of those center links are actually rising up over everything else here. So we only have one of these, number one. Look at this. And what I love too is when you're looking inside the dial here, it's like you're looking out into outer space. And it just looks just amazing. So you have the Sandstone dial, the tourbillon movement, double row of diamonds, and the number one. Number one. They hold that shot. Let me just see if I can pop this one more time. Let me undo the bracelet. There we go. Sorry. Does that help? There we go. You can see right here underneath my finger. This is number one out of 999. So there's only one of these ever made. Mm-hmm. It was in our special one room. We pulled it out the other week, and we didn't get a chance to present this one. We presented the bigger one, I think, last week.
When am I going to get a tour of this room? It's been twice now.
Well, that part is locked off for the weekend or for the night. But yeah, you have to come during the day sometimes. It's a fingerprint scan, and this bookcase door opens.
You every now and then when Shaq was here, and you see you guys going into this incredible vault.
Yeah,
I'd like to see the vault.
Yeah. Well, that's the one room. The vault is something different.
That's the one room.
That's the one room.
Okay.
It was only for number ones, and it's like this celestial music.
Yeah.
And it's all mirrors. All mirrors. The vault is technically, Renee, I think the vault is behind that wall, isn't it? Behind you. Behind that wall? Yeah. You're that close to the vault, Kevin.
That's probably the closest I'll get.
All right. All right, you guys. Remember, if you're on your phone, if you're on your computer or tablet, just scroll off to the right-hand side of the screen there, and you can see all the different watches that we're actually presenting during the course of the show today. I know a couple of them actually sold early. Mm-hmm. And so you can go ahead and do that. You can see if you're just joining on, you can always go back and look and see what actually came up, what we presented a little bit earlier. And we're going to probably move on here in just a moment, but really easy to be able to shop here on Invicta stores, and what we've done some special pricing on, especially with these number ones here tonight. So one final look here at this version, and then we're going to move on to another segment of the show, because I think every cell, this is our second cell, so I think we're keeping on pace here for the 3 hours tonight.
Yeah, we have
two more little things. All right, we're going to move on to another segment, and so excited about this. I actually was thinking about it today. So I came up with 12 random questions, and it's just going to be like a rapid fire.
Okay.
To Venom Kevin. So I'm gonna rip through these questions. We're gonna get to know you a little bit, and then we're gonna go through and explain, and then we're gonna turn the tables, and then you're gonna ask me the same questions, and I'll answer them.
Yeah, but you already know the answers to the questions for yourself.
It's fine, but we still have to answer the same questions, whether I know them or not.
All right.
Okay?
Let's go.
Okay, so here, let me get back to where this is. This is going to be good. Okay, so just right away, rapid fire, okay? So I'm just going to underline everything here. Okay, so I have 12 questions. And Kevin asked me, he's like, is it all going to be watch questions? And I'm like, no. But we'll start with some watch questions. Okay, quartz or mechanical?
Mechanical.
Okay.
It used to be a quartz.
Okay. Well, we'll get into it. We'll go into why you said that. Okay. Bracelet, silicone, or leather?
Bracelet for sure.
Okay. 42 millimeter or 52 millimeter?
52.
I knew that. What's your favorite color in general?
I'd say blue.
Okay. Fruits or vegetables?
I'm a banana guy. You guys will see the banana shirts I bring on the
Okay.
cruise. Fruits.
So fruits. Okay. Car or motorcycle?
Well, see, that depends.
Okay.
Which one do I want, or which one is more practical for
Just
me?
give me an answer, and then you justify it after.
Motorcycle.
Okay. Barefoot or sandals?
Sandals.
Okay. What was the age you realized wrestling was fake?
Oh man, I had what, 9 or 10 maybe?
Oh boy, I was a lot later. All right. Next one. Weights or cardio?
Oh, weights for sure.
Weights. Okay. Boobs or butt? Guy.
I'm a butt man.
Okay.
Actually, I'm a leg man, but I'll take butt over boobs.
Okay. All right. Let's see. You like that? I know. I had thrown a zinger, right? You get to ask me all these.
Yeah,
Right. Metric or standard in terms of units of measure?
standard. I mean,
Okay.
I lived in England for a year, but I've lived in the United States my life, so standard.
And last question is, do you prefer to type or prefer to write?
Type.
Type. Okay.
Can always go back and add
Okay.
things and.
All right. Let's go through your questions.
All right.
And then you're just going to do the same thing to me. Okay.
All right.
So we talked about the first question was quartz or mechanical.
Yeah, when I first started collecting watches, wearing watches, I didn't really, I guess you could just say I was fairly ignorant about watches. I didn't really know. I saw what I liked and that's what I wore. And what I liked happened to mostly be quartz watches. So I never really was a fan of the automatics, but a lot of the ones that I've been buying recently have been nicer designs, and the movements are, I've started reading a lot and doing more research on the movements, so learning more about them. So I would say it's definitely mechanical now.
Okay, good. All right. I asked you bracelet, silicone, or leather. You said bracelet. I figured I knew that.
Yeah, bracelet. When I wear a watch, especially with Invicta, as you said several times when it comes to the graffiti watches, if you don't like to stand out, if you like to sit in the corner and have nobody notice you, don't buy the graffitis. It's the same with pretty much any Invicta watch because they're oversized. They're very unique looking. The designs are just incredible, and everybody notices them no matter where you go. So sorry, I lost my place.
Yeah, just like bracelet. Yeah.
So yeah, so for me, a bracelet adds a little bit more of a level of class rather than leather or silicone. And again, I think I mentioned it the last podcast. If I'm going to the parks or something like that, to Universal, I don't like wearing the bracelet and having like the sweaty wrist underneath the metal, so I will wear the silicone.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's why I like the bracelets more.
Okay. And also for you guys watching right now, men and ladies, let me know or let us know if you like this segment. So I just came up with it today. I thought, let's just have a little bit of fun. Let's go off the cuff.
Yeah.
All right. We said 42 or 52 millimeter.
52. My sweet spot is 52 to 56.
Okay.
I do have a couple excursions at 50, and I do have the 147 millimeter Pro Diver with the Punisher skull first responder that you gifted me.
Okay. You said your favorite color is blue.
When I was younger, I thought it was red, but I don't like the way I look in red clothes.
Wait, you thought when you were younger, you thought blue was red?
No. Red was my favorite color when I was little, and then I saw myself in a mirror with red shirts, and I don't know if it's my skin tone, my eyes, my hair. I don't like the way that I look with red shirts on.
The next question was fruits or vegetables. You eat fruits, and you said something with bananas.
Yeah, I'm a huge banana guy. I love the taste of bananas. I have a couple pairs of banana shorts, a couple banana shirts.
Okay.
So
sometimes it's weird, like when
I do have my vegetables too, but
it's that question. But every now and then, sometimes I don't know what it is. If it's like extra ripe, the banana, like I'll gag.
Okay.
Does that ever happen to you?
No.
Yeah, that like
no. I never shove it that far down, Ryan.
It's just- fair enough. Anything can be said.
Eat it, don't play with it, okay?
Fair enough. Okay. I didn't think we'd get deep into that. I thought it was maybe for the boobs and butts question. Okay. Car or motorcycle? You said motorcycle for your answer, but
Yeah, back when I lived in Massachusetts, I did own one motorcycle and I had to sell it before moving down here. I've been wanting one ever since. I've been here for 20 years now. But I just haven't found the right opportunity to buy another one while also still having a car. And we know in South Florida, it's either hot or it's raining, and it's just not practical.
you know what scares the shit out of me?
Well, the driving down here too is absolutely horrible.
Well, but then the lane splitters.
Yeah.
Jeez, I don't know. That's just a wish to get hurt or more.
I don't know what's worse, Florida drivers or Connecticut drivers, but
they're both bad.
They're both the worst in the country. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. Yeah, right. Okay. The next question was barefoot or sandals.
I don't go barefoot very often unless I'm in the house. So I would just prefer sandals because I guess I have the very soft bottoms of the bottom of my feet. So.
Yeah. Well, do you get pedicures ever?
No, I don't.
No,
I don't.
Should try. I love it. You don't lose your man card if you get a pedicure.
I did it once many years ago before going on a trip, but only one time.
All right. The age you realized wrestling was fake. You said age 9.
We were all talking about it when we were in school and stuff, whether it was quote unquote fake. Obviously, the moves and the athleticism between those athletes is phenomenal. They're incredible. They're incredible athletes. But the fights and some of the hits. I mean, obviously they do get hit. They do land on one another. But as far as it being an actual compared to MMA being quote unquote real fighting, I think I realized it back in 8-9 years old.
Yeah. Okay. Weights or cardio?
Absolutely. Weights, cardio. Oh man, you have to do it though. You just have to.
I agree.
You have to diet right. You have to. But the only reason that I do cardio is so that I can keep drinking beer.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. That's justifiable. The next question was boobs or butt. You said butt.
Yeah. I mean, how graphic can we get here? I'm not a BBL guy by any means. Those things get them out the door. Ladies, men don't like them. Sorry, we don't. You like them, we don't. I'm more of a leg guy.
Fair enough.
If I were to look at a woman's physique, I would say what I like is picture a woman that plays soccer, and that's what I like.
Okay. All right. Second to last question was, do you prefer to type or write something out?
I would say type. I'm not the fastest typer. I'm pretty good because we do all of our reports at work on them. If you miss something, you can always go back and add it, or they got you have spell check and stuff like that. So it's just more convenient.
And then finally, metric or standard?
Standard is just what we grew up with. It's what we know. I did live in England for a year after college.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I took a job over there playing for the English Lacrosse Association. I was coaching and playing over there. So going to the gym, they have everything in kilograms. So basically, you just have to take whatever the number was on the weight and just multiply it by 2.2 to kind of figure out what you're doing there. And of course, everything's in Celsius, so you had to do the math. The math wasn't always the most difficult thing for me. I have a degree in math, which a lot of people don't know. But so that was actually fairly easy for me to translate once you realize what the formula is.
Well, congratulations. You made it through the 12 questions.
Thanks.
What did anybody comment about? Did they like this segment? Should we do this again coming up? Let us know if you guys like this little segment. Now, we're going to turn the tables, and Kevin is going to answer or ask me the same questions.
Question and answer segment is good. I like it. Godfather.
Okay, cool.
So,
all right, here we go. So you can circle or whatever you want to do. So
I think I'm going to know most of your answers.
Probably.
And I'll tell you whether I'm right or wrong after you answer.
Okay.
I'm just going to keep looking while people answer here at the same time. So quartz or mechanical?
Mechanical.
That's what I thought. Bracelet, silicone, or leather?
Actually silicone a little bit.
I was going to say bracelet.
I mean, I have more bracelets, but I do like silicone on occasion because Well, I'll get into it. Once we get back. Next
Anthony
question.
from New York liked the segment.
Okay.
And Brandon says the entire show has been great. Robert
Cool.
Vega, yes, absolutely, 100%. 42 or 52?
Typically 52.
Okay.
I'll say 52, but I do like my 42s also. I'm wearing a 52 tonight.
Yep. I would. Well, we'll get back into it later when we go over them again. Favorite color?
Blue.
Oh, okay. Same.
Yep.
Fruits or vegetables?
Fruits.
Car or motorcycle?
Probably car.
Okay.
I'll say car. Yeah.
All right. Barefoot or sandals?
Sandals. Yep.
Okay. And yeah, we'll talk more on that. Age you realized wrestling was quote unquote fake?
Probably a little bit later than you. But I'm a couple years older than you too. I would say probably teenager, early teenager. Like I'll say 14.
14 it is. Weights or cardio?
Weights.
Boobs or butt?
Both. All the above.
All right, I like that. Typing or writing?
Typing.
And metric or standard?
I'm gonna say metric.
Okay.
Yep. Metric. Okay.
So quartz and mechanical, I thought, a lot of the watches that I see you wear are your pro divers or your
Grand divers.
And I do notice that a lot of them are mechanical. So that's why I would have thought that.
I mean, nothing wrong with quartz movements. I mean, I have more quartz.
I think the majority of mine are quartz.
Yeah, I have more quartz movements than mechanicals, but I don't know, I do like the fact of the matter that the mechanical movements, they're assembled by hand out there. You get that sweeping second hand that's a part of it, and I think it just adds, a little bit more. It makes the watch more intriguing. I think with again, I'm not knocking quartz at all.
Right.
I have more quartz than that, but I think choosing between one or the other, like if the Apocalypse was here. Go quartz or a mechanical automatic.
Yeah, you never have to change it because you're not going to be able to find batteries at that point.
Somebody,
I'm sorry, I can't see the name anymore because my feed keeps going up, but they said definitely keep the segment.
Okay, cool. All right. Next question.
Bracelets or silicone? I would have thought bracelet because the majority of the time I see you are wearing bracelets.
So here's the thing. Like, I don't know if it's because I'm down here, but my watches fit. I think my wrists swell a little bit or something like that. I mean,
we're in Florida. The humidity makes your wrist swell. So when you're in the air conditioned house,
yes,
it shrinks. And when you step outside into that humidity, or when you've been in the house and you're getting hot and sweaty in the house, your skin is going to swell. It happens to me. I have to resize my watches 2 or 3 times throughout the day.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. Is I didn't know if it was that or if it's just all the salt on the rims of the margaritas I drink throughout the day. So I mean, I didn't know which one it was.
Yeah, it's the humidity, man. It's everybody always asks me up north. When I first moved down here, what's the weather like? Is it nice? Is it hot? I say, well, we have 2 weeks of summer and we have 50 weeks of hell.
Well, here's the other thing too, is like I did say silicone. I mean, most of my watches are bracelets. I love the bracelets. I mean, I probably do. Just when I've been down here though, I've noticed like this one's gonna fit. It fits tight today, so I just go to a silicone strap. Yeah. Or I wore yesterday. Did you see my post with the JT?
Yes, I did.
That watch is awesome.
Tony White says he gets 6 pedicures a year.
Okay. Is he getting one before?
Yeah, the one coming up, Tony. Let me know.
All right, next question.
It was the 42 or 52. See, before you answer, you did say 52, but most of what I see, again, to your quartz mechanical question, when I said you mostly have pro divers or grand divers, I would think 47, 48 is more your wheelhouse.
It is. I mean, I have a lot of 52s. I love the sub-aqua specialties. Yeah. I love them. I mean, that's basically what you have on for the meat of that watch of your Fusion. I do like those, but then it's nice to have. I have a couple glycines that are 42 millimeters. And I said this before last week, like if it came down to like, zombies are taking over the earth and stuff, and I needed a watch, that 42 millimeter glycine, just small profile, sapphire crystal, nice Swiss made movement on the inside. I mean, that would be the watch I would have for that. So, I like them all, but I do. I mean, the sub-aqua specialties and the Noma 3s and stuff.
Yes.
Partial to. What side of the grand divers that fall in the middle?
Favorite color blue, you said.
Yeah, blue. It's always been blue. My dad's favorite color is blue. My mom's favorite color is red. I think the blue just represents like the water for me, and I'm just love the water, and that's just been a thing. Like I remember, like one of the watches I bought. It was when I was in college. I was a boat docker. I was a captain, and also I had a boat cleaning business.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, I bought this watch. It was a Nautica watch, and I wanted to get a blue dial, and
Okay.
it had a leather strap, and I mean that leather strap throughout the summer just really wore hard
Yeah.
because of all the sweat and everything. But
Yeah.
I've just always been very fond of blue.
Okay. You said fruits over vegetables.
Yeah, I'd say more fruits, but I think vegetables, I mean, they're important too. So, I
Yeah.
mean, if I had to choose between one or the other, I'd go fruits. But
That is a tough one for me, but the
Mango.
the banana thing just killed it for me. So I
Yeah,
have to go with
mango
the fruit.
and pineapple and kiwi.
Oh yeah.
Love. Yeah.
So I went to every time anybody ever asked me about Jamaica, I went to Jamaica once, and they had a buffet style breakfast where we were, and the pineapple was so sweet it literally was like eating candy.
Yeah.
It was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So, or motorcycle, you said car.
I think car because, I mean, that's all I've driven. I
Okay.
did back in 2014, though. I got my motorcycle license.
Okay.
So it says it on the back of my ID, and I did it in I think it was 2014, and it was 2014 and 2015, 2014, I believe.
Mhm.
But I did it in Minnesota in April, and it snowed that day. Now, it wasn't like a snow that was accumulating. It was like these little pellets of snow. I don't know if you had that in Massachusetts. These little pellets of snow, and they were kind of just then blowing across the pavement and everything. But passed it on my first time. Wanted to get a wide glide, but it just I trusted myself, but I don't trust others who's out there. You don't know who's just gonna, turn a lane and yank you out and you're done. And I just didn't. So I say car because
Just a quick story. I was actually about 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, I was saving up to buy a motorcycle, and I had quite a bit saved up to buy a used one. And with my job, within a 1 week time period, I had to respond between. I think I was working night shift at the time. It was probably between 10 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the morning between the three different times. I had to respond to three different crashes where it was a vehicle versus motorcycle, and it was like, well, maybe this is a sign,
vehicle.
because to respond to too many of those, but
Yeah.
three of them in a week, it was kind of
Really,
like,
it was
hey,
like a sign. Yeah.
maybe hold off for right now, Kev.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the pavement always wins.
Yep.
The car always wins. A tree
Yep.
always wins.
Yep.
I mean, it's cool. I love it. I grew up on snowmobiles and personal watercraft. That's a little bit more safe.
if you're the only one on the road, they're fantastic. But
Yeah.
and people are on their cell phones now and everything
Yep.
else, and so. Barefoot or sandals? You said sandals. Now, I would have thought sandals because I think you've spent most of your life up north, so you're not really outside too
well,
much
Here's the thing: is like
in the winters.
like I'm barefoot. No, because I mean, like when I'm inside, if I'm walking, if I'm at the beach or whatever, yeah, that's fine.
Right.
But if like inside, like the house in Minnesota, it's still there. I'm gonna sell it. We'll work on selling it. It was all hardwood floors or tile. There's only carpet on one stairwell going from the main level into the basement of the stairwell. That's it. So I bought these yellow Crocs, and it just like because my feet would get sore, and they're just super spongy and stuff, and it just makes it much more mad. I brought them down here because my whole place is tile down here, so the bedroom is carpet, but it's just so much softer on the feet, and I love them. And I got the Invicta yellow, of course. So I sandals.
Okay. Age you realized wrestling was fake? You said 14.
Yeah, probably early teenager. I grew up. We go to church on Sundays, and from that we get back home and watch wrestling right away, like Mean Gene and Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant and Baron von Raschke. And actually, I don't know. Oh my gosh, what was his name? My neighbor used to work out with him at the gym. Oh my gosh, what was his name? And he needed to go to 7-Eleven to get, I can't remember, it was one of the Sheik Aldan Casey.
Okay.
I don't know if you know him, but he's like
No, I
back from the
don't.
old school, and he needed a ride, or he needed to know where the 7-Eleven was because he wanted to buy something. So my neighbor said, Ryan, just ride with him. And back then everything was cool. He had this Mercedes with a convertible. He had like this animal print, like cheetah print seats. And it was a Mercedes convertible, and I just showed him how to get there and get back and everything. But yeah, it was probably a little bit after that. But favorite wrestler is The Undertaker.
Okay.
Yeah, Bart Calloway, just cool guy, and he's got a podcast also. It's
Yes,
just
he does.
Really,
Yeah.
he's
clips I haven't seen the
he's
show.
such a great storyteller.
That's cool.
So okay, next question.
That's cool. Weights or cardio? You said
Weights.
weights.
Yep, weights. I think weights gets the job done a little bit more, but you do have to do the cardio just for your heart and everything else and such. So you got to do both. But I would prefer, if I had to do one or the other, had to just go in the gym and do one or the other, I do weights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two more questions, guys. We'll get straight back to the watches in a second.
Both
Sorry.
the butts. I said both. I mean,
It is.
I mean,
women are beautiful.
The is beautiful from head to toe.
That's right.
And I was just wanted to throw one in there to just try to make you sweat a little bit. You didn't really sweat, but just everything. And the thing is, everything that's on the inside. Right.
Type or write, and you said type.
I say type because I'm much faster at typing. I've always been good at typing. Even I took word processing and typing classes, and I can type, pretty fast. Yeah. And ever since college, I lived with a couple of my roommates. They were twins, and they always wrote in caps, and I just started to do that too. And I still write in caps.
Okay.
Like cursive is hard for me to do now,
or
even just writing like in lowercase.
Yeah, they don't even teach it in school anymore.
And so it's just different. And so I just prefer to type. But when I send a letter out, I don't type it or put it through the machine. It's always proper to actually take the time and write out somebody's address.
If millennials or Gen Z ever tried to take over the country, all we had to do was send our military plans to each other in cursive, and we'd win easily. And they'd never be able to decipher it.
And you ask them to call their friend on a rotary. There was a video I saw. They couldn't figure it out in 5 minutes. They had to dial a number.
Yeah.
They couldn't figure out a rotary phone.
Wow.
Last question.
Last question was metric or standard?
Yeah. Standard is what we have here. Metric just makes so much sense. It's all based on tens, and it's so easy. Like, do you know how many pints are in a quart?
Pints in a quart, I believe
That's the whole point.
Sure.
That's the whole point. You believe it is. Right, but
it's 32 ounces.
But everything.
8 ounces in a pint. No, I'm sorry.
Cup
16 ounces a pint. So it's two. It's two. I was going with cup.
So again, it makes mathematical sense to go with metric. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we should probably go on to the next lot of watches here. So hopefully, again, I know that took a little bit long. Maybe I'll just bring it down to 7 questions next time. But that was fun. Let's go some more watches, Kevin. And we're going to do, I think it's cell number 3, and then we have one more. So we're going to do a cell. We're going to be a little bit quicker on this, and then we have what we need to use a hammer for tonight. And then we'll do one more quick cell after that, and it'll actually be the night. So we're going to do cell number 3. So, actually, you know what? We're going to bring out the hammer after this first watch.
Trap has a question. If you had to wear one watch for 1 month, what would you wear?
It would be a 40 millimeter Pro Diver.
40 millimeter?
40 millimeter Pro Diver for a month straight. Either that or that 42 glycine combat on a bracelet.
Okay.
Yeah. Or this watch, 52 millimeter Grand Diver.
I do have
because I do like the adjustable bracelet.
Yeah, I have one of those, the one with the Tiffany blue dial.
Yep.
If it was me, Trap, I would do the Venom Fusion Heritage version. I have one. Yeah, I have that one, and that would be my go-to if I had to wear it for a month.
Okay.
Super clean dial, all silver.
I believe this is a newer watch. I don't know if I've seen this one before. Greg, this one ends in 347. So this is a Grand Diver, $149.90, under $150. You're getting into that very hot. Oh my gosh, look at this dial. I don't know, we got to get really as close as we can on this dial because it's a wave pattern. for the dial. Did you look at the dial on this?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So I don't know if I've ever seen a wave pattern like this before. Look at this, just goes all the way across. Look at that wave pattern, just going all the way through for that Caribbean blue. You know, that's like my favorite color is that Caribbean blue. You get the wave pattern, excuse me, and then you still have 3 different diamonds at the hour markers, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and 12 o'clock. There's a magnification window right here. The movement is the NH35A, that 24 joule movement. Again, you just turn the crown a few times. Guess what? You're going to start up that movement. You'll see that second hand now starting to move. Has power on the inside. You have the 300 meters of water resistant. This is what a majority of my watches are, like we were talking about too. If you had to wear one watch for a while, yeah, 47 millimeter Grand Diver also, I would wear. And I mean, you just can't go wrong with a Grand Diver. 9 diamonds on the inside. Mechanical automatic movement is what you get for the timepiece. 300 meters, solid stainless steel. And here's the thing too, I want to show this. And I don't know if you know this, Kevin. It's a little bit different from a 40 millimeter Pro Diver to a Grand Diver. You get a thicker bracelet, but also what you get is right here where my finger is, it's a solid end link. And so not all the watches have that. This has that solid end link. You have the upgraded clasp and closure here, that scissor style deployment closure, that's a part of it. Exhibition window on the case back here of the timepiece. And it's just an absolute brilliant design here for the watch. You just can't go wrong. I would say if you're looking to get into something tonight, you want to get into a timepiece, you're like, hey, I really love the show, I've been shopping, don't quite know what to get. Number ones, maybe they're a little cost prohibitive even at the price. I understand that. And I would say try something like this. The size, to me, is not too big. Easy to read, no battery ever. You get a little hint of diamonds and you get the hottest color going on right now in terms of the dial.
Trap says this would be a great cruise watch. I completely agree with you, Travis. If I would think that if you were able to order it now, I can't say for sure, but I think there's plenty of time for you to get it home before that cruise.
Yeah.
And Tony White says it's a sweet color on that watch. I agree with you also, Tony.
Yep, I agree 100%. So, I mean, you cannot go wrong. Probably now I have a 7-inch wrist down here, but you'll see I don't have that big of a wrist. You can see how this watch just pops off there. The beautiful silver tone that's done in a high polish fashion for that center link, the sides of the case, and then a brush finish for the top of where the lugs are, and also then just going down the outer links of the timepiece. I mean, you just can't go wrong. This is the watch that we both said felt a little extra heavy, right?
Yeah. And it has diamond accents? It
has diamonds. It has 3 different diamonds at the 3, 6, and the 6, 9, and 12 o'clock position on the inside of the timepiece. Now, let me just check one thing on the case back. It says limited edition, and so this is a limited edition. Now we have numbered limited editions and limited editions. Limited editions are just simply, we just do a certain production run and then we're going to most likely move on. Numbered limited editions obviously are going to have the numbers. This one doesn't have the numbers on the back, but here's the thing. I would say if you want something, you want to get a watch to somebody for the first time, you want to get something for the show here, I would say this would be the ticket here tonight. Little hint of diamonds, hottest color out there in the industry right now for the dial. And that Grand Diver will just go with you everywhere. You can wear this to work. You can wear this watch casual. You can wear it, to the beach. You can go swimming with it and diving. If you don't have to like the water, but just the level of water resistance, 300 meters, it's been designed and engineered to go beyond professional dive specifications, which to me just lends to the integrity and the build of this watch.
People are asking what the color was. Put it in the 45347 is your model number.
Yeah, 45347. You can also just click on your phone. If you have that phone, it's that second icon down in the lower right. That's your shopping bag. If you click on that on your phone, it'll actually bring up all the different watches here that we have programmed for this entire show. And also right at the bottom, correct. You can click on the very bottom, but if you want to look at all the different watches we've had, you can click on that little shopping bag, which is the second icon on the lower right.
Yeah.
And that will bring you everything up. You can scroll through, see what there is. And if you want to get back to the chat, just go above that to where the video is, and it'll bring you out of that, what you can view and back to the video. But the easy way is just click right down at the very bottom of the podcast here for that. So me,
Ships same day. If you order it before 2 p.m., everything ships same day.
okay, I'm learning more. Again, I'm just come on board with Invicta stores and stuff, so I'm learning all the time. We have the president of the Invicta stores. He's here behind the scenes, just helping out a little bit. He says if you order before 2 p.m. any day, if you order by 2 p.m. any day, your watch will actually be shipped out that day. That's pretty cool.
Felix actually had a question
I love
earlier
that.
in the on the chat. Felix, I'm sorry for the delay in getting it. He wanted to know, are the number ones still being sold with the 18 slot briefcase like they were last week?
I believe so. Are we still doing the AL signature on the briefcases for the number ones? Yeah, we'll do it.
Okay, so yes,
We'll do it.
Felix. Awesome.
Yep, Felix. Yeah, if you buy a number one, I know somebody got that purple one tonight, the
Yeah.
Sabaku number 2.
Before we even started.
Yeah, before we started. So you will get then AL signature on that silver 18 slot briefcase. Yep, and you'll get the certificate of authenticacy. Every now and then, some words are a little bit harder to say. Authenticity, right?
I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say.
No, don't. Probably not. You already got me with bananas.
Too many bananas. That's what I was gonna say.
So, all right, unidirectional rotating bezel that can be used as a timing device here for the watch, and just a nice ratcheting click. I mean, here's the thing is, you can never, in my opinion, you can never go wrong with a Grand Diver. And so that's what you're getting into here tonight. All right, we're going to move on a little bit. So we're going to go on to the next item. And so this is cell number 3, right? We have going on? Yeah, because here's the deal. So Renee, we're going to move on to, we need the hammer. So Kevin and I are going to switch over to a different area here of the set that we have. So we have our main set right here. We also have a set that's going to be where the microscope typically is. The microscope's over there, but we're going to do something totally different tonight. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to this. Kevin had no idea that this was being done. I'll say our floor manager, he wears many, many different hats at Invicta. I've known him ever since I started back in 2011. He's just a great guy. He did some work behind the scenes that took about a day and a half to do. So Kevin, let's go over here to the, do we have another chair by chance for Kevin? Yeah, let's do that. Let's go over here. And we're going to bring one of the models. It's the red one. And so this, Greg, is going to be item 45805. So 805, yep. You know what happened? That Velcro piece to this microphone, it's like totally itching me. It's right down, there we go. Okay, so we have 45805, which is actually this watch right here. And the cool thing is about this timepiece is Kevin and I were had the watch earlier. So you're getting the Grand Diver, the same watch that we just had, which is, one of the watches I said, go for it. Go for this watch also. I don't remember the price. I don't have my iPad over here.
$119.90.
Okay, $119.90. If you didn't like that blue before on the traditional bracelet, here we have a couple different options of colors, and we'll get those other colors over here. But it's done on that Melanese bracelet. And the thing is, you're getting extra straps. So you can go from a bracelet to a strap. One of the questions I had, bracelet, silicone, or leather. Here you get two of those different options. You have two completely different looks.
Yep.
And you have two completely different feels then on the wrist.
Yep.
So if you look here, this watch, it's good to go. Now we have a second watch, same watch, which is actually, look at this. It's inside right here, this block of ice. So I think we're going to just, I don't know, hack our way through. Do you think we should do that?
Go for it.
Should I go for it?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I don't know. This could be a miserable fail. We don't know.
I'm going to block this so it doesn't hit me in the eye.
All right, so let's. Don't break. Okay, I heard from the big boss. Don't break it.
Another great thing about this, as I mentioned before, when living in Florida, I don't like to wear the bracelets when I go to the parks. So I do have a couple watches that have the interchangeable bracelets to silicone, and this is another great option for that. You have the day night. You can, jeans and a t-shirt in the day. You can swap it at night and go out to dinner with your wife.
All right, here we go.
Go for it.
Is it working?
It is.
I don't want to. Well, so goes that keeping all the ice here. We're trying to, let's see. All right, this thing is stuck in there. Let me see. I'll just try to go over this way. See if we can get it. Actually, let's do this. Should be hit. I want to try to get a little bit. Let's see. You see this right here? So we did this once before, where we did the we froze one in the lake with one of my best friends from the network, Neil, director Neil. He's the one who I go fishing with. There we go. I go out fishing with him, and we froze we froze a watch in the ice overnight, and it was pretty cool. And remember the Frozen event we had at the network? We were all outside in the freezing cold, and
yes, I remember that.
We'll just say some people were complaining about it. Others, like me, weren't, or was embracing it, and you just had to dress right for it. All right, let's see right here. So this watch, I mean, look at this. This watch it's in the ice right now. And look at this. All right, you'll see that second hand. Look at what happens here. I think it's in position 1. I undid the crown. Let's see what happens. Turn the crown. And look at that.
There it goes.
So frozen in ice, I just wound the watch, and now you'll see that second hand is actually moving on the inside. How cool is that? So talk about that durability test right there. Talk about invincible with Invicta. Pretty freaking cool. I'm just going to hit this a couple more times. I don't think I'll be able to get this full thing out, but we'll talk about the watch and everything else. I mean, that's pretty awesome right there. So thanks, Renee, for putting this together. You'll see, again, I just wound up the watch. You can see it's moving with that NH35A on the inside. Pretty cool. Now that's a testament of just like durability, the quality of watches that we have here at the company. And that's what you're getting on your wrist.
I think we talked a little bit the last podcast about the NH35A.
Yeah.
It is.
I'm going to grab the other samples.
I have a couple of NH35As, but I think I also mentioned that I got my dad into collecting watches a couple years ago, and most of his movements are NH35As, and he even bought different machinery to check the accuracy of all his watches, and he says some of the most accurate ones that he has are the NH35As. Now it's a Japanese movement, I believe.
Yeah, Japanese movement.
Japanese movement.
Time Module Inc.
It is. A lot of people when they're buying watches, like, oh, it's not Swiss or it's not this. Japanese movements, NH35As are extremely accurate, very, very reliable movements. And, as you can see, we've put this watch in ice, frozen it, and then we wound it up, and it's still working.
It's still in ice.
As Ryan said, it's a testament to the quality of the build that Invicta has, and how much they focus on not only the design and the colors and what it looks like on the outside, but how well everything is protected on the inside, and that you're going to have that reliability for years and years to come.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty cool. I'm going to get a video of this afterwards. I mean, but again, the watch is just frozen inside of here. It's been here for a while. Renee, when did you start icing? When did you start doing the mold here? Was that yesterday? Yesterday evening. And so you had to do basically half, right? You set the watch and then you put more water in, but the watch kind of moved a little bit on you. Yeah, it's so good. But yeah, this is pretty cool. I'm going to definitely get a video of this afterwards. But here's the thing. If you want this watch, we have 3 different color choices. Hey, Kevin, let's scoot it a little bit more so we're all in the shot here. It's basically all Kevin. So here we go. We have one version right here, and maybe we'll get a closer shot on this watch. And so this is model number 45805.
Yeah, Felix was commenting on how it comes with another band.
Yep. So 45805. We'll get in a little bit closer, and we'll show you the other two. We have two other color choices. We have a little bit more of a turquoise color yet again, and then more of a cornflower blue, I would say. So here's the first version, and it's done on that Melanese bracelet, NH35A, a 24 jeweled movement. And here's the thing is, I'm on this shot, we'll back out just a little bit. And, Kevin and I were talking about this before. You can change out, the interchangeables 100 times. And then once you do it on air, that's when you have a little bit of difficulty. But a couple things about this. Let me just show you. It's a typical Grand Diver, 300 meters of water resistance. And here's the cool thing is if you look on the back, you'll see right here, a lot of times like on some of the lupas and stuff, the lugs will come over and you can't quite get into that where that quick change pin is. But look at this. With this variation, you can bring the bracelet all the way up. So it's just basically going up and over the top of the design of the watch. It allows you to be able to get to this quick change pin much easier. So all you do is you pull back on that pin a little bit, and then, oh, look at this. There's still a little bit of plastic on here. I'll have to take that off. And then you can just easily release that. Now, there's one thing I want to show you is right here. You do have to be a little bit careful when you have this, because if you see the slot right here where the pin goes, let me show, where is it? Right here. The spring bar can actually come out. So you want to be a little bit careful where you place this. Place it in your watch box and everything else, because it can, pop out and you might lose it. So that's just one thing we want to say with that. Then you can put in the strap, and I'll see if I can do this here without finding much. But oops, you get one end in, which is over on this side. You find the little hole, and give me 1 second. I got to just do this. Right there. Nope, I missed it. Of course, here's the tough part, right, Kevin?
As soon as you're on camera and everybody's watching.
Yep, that's when it gets difficult. Okay, so there I got one side, and then I just pull in the other side a little bit, bring it in, and of course, right? We did it before. All right, here we go. Then you just have to move around a little bit, and then it will lock. I think I got it in. Then it locks into place. So now you have the strap on one side. So you can have a bracelet, you can have a strap. This is one of the 3 different color versions that we have here tonight. So we'll show this one, this version. Now we'll go to another color. So let me just pull up right here. So we have this, it's a black dial. Upper hemisphere is done with the black, lower hemisphere then has the red. Second version that we'll show, Greg, is going to be this blue, and we'll show the blue on the bamboozer here. So this is going to be model number 45804. So Grand Diver, 300 meters of water resistance here for this watch. You have more of a cornflower blue for the bezel, and then you have the turquoise dial on the inside. So remember, this watch will come also with the bracelet. And actually, the pin actually came out of one of the bracelets, and Kevin and I just set it aside. So again, if you take the bracelet out, just be conscious of that spring bar and place it somewhere special where it's not going to, you're not going to lose it, or it's going to roll off the table and drop into the carpet of your shag carpet, and you're never going to find it again, kind of thing, until your vacuum goes over it.
Shag carpet, how old are you, man?
I know, that's the thing. It's making a comeback. So easy with the strap, a little bit lighter that goes along with the wrap here. This is the second version. So this is 45804, but then we have one more variation. And this version, and we'll pull it up here in just a moment, is going to be model 45806. And so this is, I'm trying to look at the color of the dial list. So this is going to be 45806. And so it's going to be a little bit of a cornflower blue bezel and a little bit of a slate gray dial on the inside. So there's a little gold tone accents that go around the outer rim of the bezel. You'll see right here. And then also just for the numerals and such. On the inside, it's going to be all silver tone, but the crown is actually plated in 18 karat gold also. So this will come in addition to that strap. So what is it, 119.90?
119.90 for all of them, yeah.
119.90. I mean, it's a great buy to be able to get a Grand Diver at that 159 that we had for the Grand Diver with the blue and kind of special like that. This is even less, and you get the Melanese strap and also that silicone band. So either way, 3 different color choices here tonight. 45805 is going to be the red bezel and black bezel with the red or with the black dial. Item number 45804 is going to be the turquoise color, and then this is 45806. Can never go wrong with a Grand Diver, in my opinion. It's based on the design that we really built up the brand with over the last couple of decades, a little bit larger.
I like how this one has a little added with the gold coin edge on the bezel.
Yep. Yeah, the outer rim of the bezel is actually plated in 18 karat gold, just as
makes it pop a little bit more.
I like that too. Yeah. Yep. Because everything else is silver tone then. This version, I think it's all silver tone on the inside. I don't think the hands are plated in the 18 karat gold like they typically are, which makes it just stand out a little bit more than some of the rest.
Yeah.
Any comments online?
Everyone's loving the colors of them. They were pretty. They thought it was pretty cool that you could change that it came with the additional strap.
Yeah.
You did show it, but they were saying earlier, show us that the movement is still moving after the ice.
Yeah, we can show that
we
again.
did that already.
Yeah, we'll just show that again for those who maybe missed it or just tuning in. We're going to go over to the ice block here. And so if you just tuned in right here, you'll be able to see, I mean, we're still in that ice. You can see that second hand is still moving just past 10 seconds right now, going to 15
Tony's
seconds.
trying to get Trapped to buy 2 of them so he can get one.
So yeah, one other time we did it was really cool at Shop HQ. We just it was fun because overnight, so I go fishing with Neil, and he's got this auger. He's got this thing called Fish TV. Like we put the watch down in the water.
Okay.
And then he half drilled a hole because I think it was April, and it was a little bit starting to melt. You can still be on the ice. It's still thick enough, but the top, all the snow is melting. So he augered a hole like maybe 6 inches. And I put the watch in there, and it just kind of filled with water from the melting snow. Mm-hmm. Overnight, it got under freezing, and then I punched it the next morning, punched it out, and it was a Grand Diver. And the funny thing is, I left the crown out too, and it was still running the next morning.
Oh, really?
And I still have that watch, and nothing ever got in. Not to say to recommend that to you out there, but I didn't realize it, and I was like, oh, shit. And I left the crown open, but
maybe it just wasn't deep enough for the pressure to get through the seals that were there.
That's probably true. I mean, because it was only technically like a couple inches
6 to 8 inches.
Yeah. So, but yeah, here's that Grand Diver yet again. So yeah, I mean, that movement is still going on the inside. We'll have to let this thaw out or just chisel it out a little bit more here after the show. But I definitely want to get a little bit of a reel on this. I think that'd be cool for Instagram afterwards. Do you have any social media you want people to follow you on, or are you kind of a little bit more private? Or?
No, I just have my personal Facebook page.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
I mean, if the people out there, if you want to go ahead and try and find me, I am on a lot of the Invicta groups and the group and the chats and stuff. You can go ahead and friend request me there, but nothing. Nothing in reference to podcast or Invicta specifically, except just being a member of the groups.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, we have about 25 minutes left, so let's just see what else we have going on. I think we have maybe another couple cells, and then we're going to probably call it a night. So,
sounds good.
Is there any other requests that people are asking for? Or?
Tanya was saying we need to get this on JTV. Need to get these watches on JTV as well.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's something.
You can buy them. Yeah, you can buy them here tonight, and great price that goes along with it.
Yeah.
And the next JTV shows,
maybe she wasn't speaking of that of the watch specifically. Maybe I'm just.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I'm missing a line or two, so apologize for that.
Next JTV shows are going to be in November, and just stay tuned with me in terms of when the shows are going to be up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else, or is that about it?
Scott Z says more bright colors.
More bright colors. Well, we have plenty of them. I mean, go to the Invicta Store's website and just start, just browsing through. How many items are on there? Probably Over 5,000 different
It's funny, you know,
models.
I start my
Yeah,
shift
it's
each
amazing.
day when I work at 6 a.m. So we do roll call from 6 to 6:30. And then I have coffee with a couple of the guys from 6:30 to 7.
Yeah.
My workout time is usually 7 to 8. They give us an hour to work out. And as soon as I finish working out, take my shower and get into the car with a bottle of water, I hop on the computer and I jump right onto invictastores.com and I click new watches every single time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, maybe it's too early. Sometimes I'll go back on at 9 and then I always check it back again, maybe like 1 or 2. And some actually have some newer watches after 1 or 2 o'clock that they didn't have at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. So
Well,
I'm literally checking it a couple times a day.
I do too. I get the emails and I'll get the text messages too. And I love seeing what's on there. I mean, there's always something exciting going along with Invicta stores, and you know, just checking daily. I mean, things are changing all the time, and they have these cool themes of like certain sale going on, or use this coupon code for additional money off.
Every and then the prices just drop to a ridiculous amount. I think it's incredible.
Yeah.
I've got a few Venoms that were sold for much higher than what I ended up getting. I ended up getting them for 100 or 120 when that was maybe for a day or two. It was on the website for that, and then jumped back up to the regular price. So definitely you need to check it over and over to make sure that you're getting the best deals for yourself. But it is an incredible website.
Yeah, I mean, very robust. I mean, I've purchased numerous watches there over the years too. And I have a watch just like the one back there, except it has a green bezel on it. Just wore it the other day. Yeah, love that watch. The 7750. Yep. And it has the extended case back, so it hits up a little bit higher off the wrist, which I like. Yep. You have the green bezel one too? But you have it. I have the same one. Yeah. Yep. I have that also. Okay, so yeah, so 100 to 200 new watches every single week on Invicta stores. So you want to definitely, just check out what's going on. Sign up for their updates. I mean, I get the emails.
Yep.
Love seeing the emails, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like
3 or 4 a day.
I love seeing them because like I'm like, oh my gosh, like I got to go check this out.
Yeah, whether there's new discount codes or whether a new thing that they opened, like when they have the open box ones, or when I mean, just before we even hopped on today, I think I got 2 new emails from them.
Yeah.
For either different skeletonized dials or for
diamonds.
For different.
All right, well, let's go back to the main ped here, and
sounds good.
We'll go back and man, I really have to take a pee, but it's only 20 minutes. So,
all right.
Did you know that happened once? And it wasn't me.
I think it was you. I remember it.
No.
I distinctly remember it.
I was actually on air.
Maybe it wasn't you.
Maybe
I just wanted to be so we can.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people did. It was a changing of the arms, and there was a guest that went after the show that was on previous to me.
Right.
Went to go use the restroom, and here's the thing: is I told you it's like the number one thing when you're done on the show. The director is supposed to cut your mic. I mean, that's like the number one thing.
Right.
Director is supposed to cut your mic. And if you look on YouTube, you'll see there are some times when people didn't. And you say something, it's going to catch. And so that was like, I've always learned to do that. And
Tanya says, did he say that?
Did I say what?
Use the restroom.
Yeah. I mean, we can do whatever we want. I mean, I could leave Kevin out here by himself for a minute. You would definitely be able to handle yourself.
I would try.
Oh, you would. I mean, you just answer a couple questions, and I don't have it on me. Yeah, I'll post it tomorrow though. I look at my Instagram. I just posted it not too long ago.
No.
Oh. Oh no.
Is that the Sabak Noma 2?
No, I think it's this one.
34281.
34281. The green?
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. We'll look. We have we should probably show this watch.
That's probably the one I want, isn't it?
That's not the one, but this is one that we wanted to show. Let's do that. Let's show these 2 watches. Let's go on. So here's the thing. I'm going to show you a couple watches right here because we are. Oh, here. Yes. Okay, I got it. It's the Excursion. This is hot. Okay.
Oh, the mint.
Yeah. So we're going to show. We got like 20 minutes left. We're going to show a few more number ones. This is hot. I mean, and there aren't many of these versions that we've done. The diamonds and mint. This one right here, though. Okay, let's go. It's 34281. And this is hot. So Kevin's first watch, he was just telling us tonight, was an Excursion. He still has that watch. He still loves it. It's a 50 millimeter. We'll just round up. 50 millimeter. This is that original design right here, that 50 millimeter. And it's the Excursion was just known for that extreme polishing. It's just like, you know, there's high polish and then there's this. It almost, when you touch it, it almost feels like soft or something.
Just the bracelet design on this too.
Yeah, bracelet. So
it's not simple. It kind of bumps out a little.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know what to call the design. It's
well, pyramid, I think.
Fair enough.
I
guess you could.
It's an elongated pyramid.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the point at the top, but it's like a pyramid or like a rooftop in a sense.
It's fantastic. Even the Excursion Gen 2 has a beautiful bracelet, but the Gen 1 is just a classic looking watch.
And if you look at this right here, we'll get in closer, Jaime. We can get a little bit closer. Are we on camera 2 or 3? I don't know which one. We can get to camera 3 and get in really tight. We'll show the bracelet here, Greg, on camera 3. Look at this. Perfect. So you get to see right here, these are called the cavities in the bracelet. They're done in this matte finish. And it's so different because everything else in the watch, every other square millimeter is basically high polished. But this is, let me just, I'm going to open the bracelet up here. This is number 1. You'll see right here on the case back. I think it's right here. Limited edition, right there. Great. Number 1, here's the deal. This is the lowest numbered edition we've had all night long. We've had out of 1977, right? Yeah, out of 300. Yeah. This is number 1 out of 300. And this is that diamonds and mint. We have only done a handful of diamonds and mint ever. I think we should do more of them, but this is it. So you get number 1. Look at this dot. We're talking about here, 216 diamonds. And you get the diamonds that go around the bezel. It's a triple row. The bezel is stationary. And then we have 12 more diamonds right here. We have these faceted pillows. And inside of each one of those high polished faceted pillow, going to be a diamond. And this dial is an alloy dial. It's a beautiful, look at that right there. Right there, beautiful grade A mother of pearl. I'm going to unscrew the crown because this is the NH35A. And look at this, give a few turns and the movement is starting. Yeah. The price on this, $799 to be able to get into 216 diamonds, 90 points of what you get to a carat, just shy of a carat, mechanical, automatic, the ever so elusive diamonds and mint. And you're getting it on this Excursion and you're getting number 1 out of the 300. And that's if we made all these, sometimes we won't make them all. Right. I mean, you are getting number 1. This is it. I mean, if you could buy whatever it happens to be, that's a numbered limited edition, would you opt for number 76?
Nope.
Would you opt for number 298?
Nope.
I mean, if you had the choice to pick any number, and when we sold this watch, I sold this watch before on that other network. You know, it was, I don't know, it was probably around this price, diamonds and mint. Maybe it was $599, $699.
I think it was right around this. $699. Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but
so
it couldn't have
let's
been.
Just say hypothetically, it was probably $599 for another $200. You get the choice to buy a number 1. This is. Yeah, every other
power is off on it.
It's there we go. Oh, here we go. Hold on 1 second.
Am I not plugged in? Oh no, I was.
You were?
Are you plugged in? Right here.
Oh, hold on.
I'll find it.
1 second.
Here it is.
Where'd your cord go? Okay. So here's the deal. All right. Malfunction fixed.
Jeez.
Whenever you would buy, when I present watches on the networks, whether it was Shop HQ or now JTV, and they are numbered limited editions, you don't know what number you're getting. This, you know which number you're getting, and you're getting the number that everybody would want. I would pick a number 1 out of 300 outside of every other number. I always think the second most desired number would be the last.
Yeah.
300 out of 300. I think that would be pretty cool.
That actually would. You know what? I remember when you guys were showing the Jason Taylor, the Bolt Zeus, there was a gentleman that called in, and because on the Jason Taylor Bolt Zeus, it had number 99 inside the dial.
Yeah.
And he was calling up and he's saying, no, it's really cool. It says 99 on the back. Did you guys do that on purpose?
Yeah.
And he got number 99 out of 999.
Oh, that's cool.
And
yeah.
I think that's pretty cool, especially when it comes to Jason Taylor. The same thing would be with the Shaq watch. They only go up to 1,000. If you got number 32, or when he was at the Lakers 34, that would be pretty cool too.
I love it. Well, here's the thing is and whenever you would buy a watch on those networks, you just wouldn't know what number you would get. And a lot of times, like when we presented this watch, I presented, on that other network I was at, great network and such, but we've moved on. We didn't have number 1 available because it was here.
Yeah.
Like you could have bought it at whatever, $5.99 or whatever we sold it at. You would have got chance of any other number but number 1. So you didn't know what you're getting, which is some fun of it.
Right.
But number 1 wasn't into play. Right. Tonight, you do get number 1. Nobody else got that chance.
Yeah.
And you're the only person that can get it. I mean, this is the only one that we do. I mean, that's something special. I mean, that is what I would consider, no matter what price. We had a timepiece, a Disney timepiece last week when we were here. It's $149 for a number 1.
Right.
That to me is still a grail to get number 1 out of like 3,000 or 4,000.
That one was really cool. I liked how the subdials in it were kind of cut out, and you can see Mickey behind those. You couldn't see his full body.
Exactly. Cool. But here we go. Diamonds in mint. Again, ever so exclusive. You're getting number 1, 216 diamonds, 90 points, mechanical, automatic. And look at that mother of pearl. Look at how that mother of pearl just radiates within this watch. So, all right, we're going to spend 1 more minute on this. If it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, we're going to move on.
So Tanya was actually saying she wants some red labels. And I did bring 1 red label out of the only 2 official ones you have. Yeah. If we could just show her that the minute when you're done with that.
Let's do that. We'll
not spend much time on it.
This off to the side. I remember you showed me this, and I hadn't seen one yet. Yes. And then the only other one was an S1.
So I did. Yeah, I had the privilege of doing a collector's event in the Times Square store. I was up in New York earlier in the year, a couple years ago, and
look at that.
And so she knew this just based on watching the shows. The manager there. And she asked me if I would come back Thanksgiving and do the collector's event. So while I was there, I ended up purchasing, the buy 2, get 6 that they offer there. And I didn't even realize it. I grabbed the red label beast and the green label beast, and I didn't even realize they were red and green label official until the next morning when I was actually looking at them.
And
I left the event. I went back to the hotel, dropped off everything, and went out to an Irish pub.
You have the stickers on the back too. It's like I'm instinctively, my fingernails like ready to just go.
And I've had about 2 years now.
Yeah, it's cool. Red label you'll see on the back. Pretty cool. Greg, camera 3. Camera 3 real quick. Look at that, red label.
And you guys have never presented this one on air.
We should see if we have any more of these, and we'll get them on Invicta stores.
Yeah, it was never never presented on Shop HQ or JTV.
You're screaming. Did you ever have them?
Maybe 1.
Really? Okay. Yeah, we'll move off of them. Yeah, Kevin got one. He got it at the store. Yeah. See? Yeah. All right, you guys, we're going to move off this, and we're going to finish up with 2 watches. 2 watches that I actually own for the last 2 here of the night. We're going to present them together. And so, all right, we're going to move off this excursion. If you want to get into it, this number 1, 34281, and you get the number 1 limited edition out of 300. All right. This one is 281. We're going to move on though. So I'm going to take this watch out of the shot. So we'll move to a different shot. And then I'm going to set 2 watches down in front of me. And this is one of my favorite designs of watches. This would be an apocalypse watch for me. This one too, Kevin. You know, we were talking about that earlier.
Yes.
So where's the other one?
Tony White says he has this watch now too. I showed it to him on that last cruise. And I remember talking to him about it at dinner. I
the
think
red label?
you mentioned to him that I had it.
Yeah.
He came up to me at dinner, and I ended up, after dinner, I went back to my room and changed my watch and brought it out and showed him.
All right, so we're going to look, sorry, Kevin.
No, it's okay.
We're looking at 45204, and this is 204, and this is 205. So let's focus on 204 for a second, the green. So this is that Grand Diver, and this is that, what I refer to as that 3rd generation Grand Diver. It's the size of it is 52 millimeters, 300 meters of water resistance. You have this new design case when we came out with this in about 2014 that has sort of the contour of like a V-bottom boat. What you get with this, because it's Invicta Masterpiece Edition watch, what you get is you get a sapphire crystal, you get a malachite dial, which is truly amazing, patented crown design from the Sub-Aqua Noma 6. There's a second crystal that's made of sapphire on the back. It's a numbered limited edition to 500, and this is number 1. The price is $599?
$599.
$599. Let me find the numbered limited edition here on the back. Here it is. It's right here. You get number 1. It's right under where it says Grand Diver. Number 1, right there, limited edition. There we go. Number 1, you can see right here, out of 500.
And these are 52 millimeter, correct?
52 millimeter. There we go. That's better. You can see number 1 out of 500. I have this